Welcome, football fans. The time has finally arrived, and football has returned. I hope you're excited, Joe, because we are back and ready to roll. Football is on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first 3 and Outs of the 2001/2022 NFL season. I hope you're ready to roll, y'all, because we're ready. Football is back. It's time, y'all. We're going to do our thing. We are ready, and it is going to go. When it's football time, you got to get crazy. You got to get mean. You got to be ready to roll, and nothing, I'll tell you what, nothing gets in the way of a moving train, and that is football. Today, we are talking NFC South, the biggest, baddest, toughest team in the NFL right now, as we know. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers bringing it to ya. Super Bowl champions, second ever in their history. Well, we'll be talking to Mr. Notorious Lock of IE Sports Radio. At the end of this show, we're talking about his Buccaneers. We also got on today's show one of the biggest, baddest, I guess you could say one of the biggest, baddest primetime face-off combatants we have here at IE Sports Radio, Mr. Colin Reynolds. Mr. Saints Gumbo himself makes his return. We're talking to Cut Right and his Panthers teeth pounded, why he is optimistic. And we're also going to be talking to a newcomer. Mr. Smitty makes his debut on 3 and Out, talking about his Falcons. Last season, this was a crazy division. The Buccaneers didn't even know what was going on with this team. But I'll tell you what I do know about this team. They got it done when it mattered. The Saints looked strong. Didn't do it. Drew Brees were off into the sunset. The Panthers with a brand new coaching staff, brand new players, and the Falcons on the rebuild. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in live to 3 and Out. The return is here. I hope you're ready to rock and roll, y'all. Enjoy. Strap in. It's going to be a wild ride. Ladies and gentlemen, football has returned. Welcome, football fans, because we are ready to rock and roll. My goodness, it is so great to be back here talking football with all of you. Big ups to everybody in the chat room, and just mad love to everybody in general, man. This is going to be a fun one. All of these interviews were recorded this weekend. And I'll tell you what, they brought the heat, they brought the thunder, whatever you want to call it, man. They brought cyclones of their own, earthquakes, all kinds of natural disasters, because this was a fun one. Lots of trash talking, lots of really good points, and just tons of great football talk. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even going to wait to get into this thing. The introduction is very, very simple. Last year's NFC South, North is tomorrow. NFC South was interesting. Saints will finish at 12-4. Okay? Guess what? Didn't win the Super Bowl. They won the division, but not the Super Bowl. Bucks 11-5, Panthers 5-11, Falcons at 4-12. This was just a complete fall apart, if you will, by those two teams in the bottom. But this goes to show you, y'all, it's not always the team that wins the division that wins it all. So, really excited for that. Big ups to everybody in the chat room, of course. My boy Taryn Rodriguez, and of course Miss Gina G, repping NorCal Sports, showing lots of love. We are ready, y'all. This is, like I said, I'm not going to waste no more time. Welcome back to 3 and Out, as we always start things off with 8 divisions in 8 days. And of course, as I will mention over and over, repetitively, probably throughout the entire series, we're starting, as I've been the last couple of years, with the conference that won it all and that particular division that won it all. So, as I just always done this, I used to play Madden a long time ago, and I still play it, but when I was younger, I used to write down records and all that, this and that. And I actually used to write down the divisions in this particular order. This is my order. This is just the way I do it. North, West, East, South, just because the West comes first in my opinion, but North really can't not come anywhere but first because North is, on top. So that's just the way I see it. So that's the order I've always gone in. Now, when it comes to the divisions, I will go in that order. Just whoever wins it will go first. So I usually always went North, West, East, South, but since the South won it this year, it'll go as follows: South, North, West, East. So those will be that is the order of the next 2 weeks. Of course, NFC week, we're doing NFC South today, NFC North tomorrow, NFC West on Wednesday, and NFC East on Thursday. Then next Monday, we'll be getting with AFC week. Well, we'll be starting with AFC week. We'll be going AFC South next week. On Monday, that following Tuesday will be the AFC North, that following Wednesday will be the AFC West, and that following Thursday will be the AFC East. After that, the schedule will then go as follows. We will have, I will have kind of sporadic shows, of course, heading back to work and everything, but I will be, I believe, I can't remember if I actually found because I'm going to be doing shows, like I said, sporadically throughout the preseason. And then, of course, starting on August 9th, when we have kickoff, I will have the first primetime face-off. But before that, sometime I will have it figured out to where I have an hour of or maybe 30 minutes of just recapping the week. And then, of course, the preparation for next week. So, because, I'll be throwing all that in there. So that's how the Readout is going to follow this week. We'll have the three primetime face-offs. One on Thursday before the show, or before the game on Thursday Night Football. One on Sunday morning. I talked to the missus, soon-to-be Mrs. Cecilia. A lot of you know her from the Sports Couples Perspective. Sorry about last week. We'll definitely be on this week. But we will be talking about, we have talked about it, and we decided to do it on Sunday morning just in case we go anywhere or do anything. We don't want to be like, oh, we got to come back because of the show. So I'll be doing the primetime face-off for Sundays on Sunday mornings, and then, of course, on Mondays, I'll be doing it right before Monday Night Football. So there you have it, and, of course, the sister show to this one, 3 and Out College Edition. My boy, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez, and myself will be getting back on the mic together in 2 weeks. Excited for that one on August 4th. We'll be giving you some recaps. Well, not recaps. We'll be giving you our thoughts on all the Power 5 divisions, and, of course, all the divisions in the NCAA Division 1. And, of course, we'll be getting into all the other divisions, y'all. We cover everything on that show. CCAA, NJCAA, NAIA, and, of course, NCAA Division 3, Division 2, Division 1 AA, FCS, and Division 1 Single A, FBS. So we'll be covering on the 4th, the 11th, and the 18th, and then week 1 gets underway on the 28th, so our first actual show with predictions and lots of matchups and all the pre-matchup stuff will be on the 25th, August 25th. So that is football for you guys. That's what football does, ladies and gentlemen. So with that said, y'all, I'm going to take myself a short break, and, I probably won't even see you guys till the end of the show live. These are the recordings from the weekend. Enjoy them. They are awesome, and I'm really excited to see what all of you think about. I'll be in the chat room, so make sure, but I want to see what all of you guys think about what these fans say about their teams. With that said, y'all, you're listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. NFC week begins. The kickoff of NFC week here today, starting off with the NFC South. We'll be right back after this. Once again, listening to 3 and Out, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me good. If you like sports, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like comedy, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like a different opinion coming from a different angle, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. So join me Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie. And, of course, my man Lopan on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the Weekend Wrap-Up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must listen. Weekend Wrap-Up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, football fans. All right, y'all. With that said, you already know I was pumped up in the introduction. I'm pumped up now. Ladies and gentlemen, the first team of 8 divisions in 8 days this year, starting things off here in the NFC South. Once again, y'all, the first team up is those New Orleans Saints. And what better fan could I go and get other than, ladies and gentlemen, the Fat Mac himself? He, of course, is the all-time reigning, I'm just going to say this, I don't even care. We never kept record, but I don't care. We're going to start doing it this year. I said it last year, but the all-time reigning primetime face-off champion. This man is about as real as it gets, and I was so blessed to have him on 3 and Out for an entire season along with me 2 years ago, and I'm happy to have him here, man. I'm glad to call this man just a dear friend of mine and a great person, and he's the absolute biggest Saints fan you will ever meet. And ladies and gentlemen, he introduced, at least in my opinion, he introduced the phrase Saints Gumbo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the Fat Mac himself, Colin Reynolds. What's going on, brother? How you doing today, man?
Hey, man, what's going on, Larry, man? It's great to be back, man. It's good to hear your voice, man. How's everything going?
Brother, it has been wonderful, and it's great to hear your voice as well, man. I'm so dang happy to have you back on this show. Things have been going so well, man. So blessed in so many ways, and you're kicking this off, man. Today, of course, is NFC South Day. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be hearing this a lot throughout the entire series of 8 divisions in 8 days, but I like to pre-record these shows on the weekends or pre-record the interviews, and then of course the live show is played during the week. This makes it easier for everybody because people are usually available during the weekends. But yes, this is the first show on Monday, July 19th, and of course I always go with whoever the defending champs are. I always put that division first. And, of course, I save that team for last. So the Buccaneers will be the last show, or be the last team for today's show. But the team to start us off with is the team who Well, let's just say about 10 years ago, they were holding up a Lombardi of their own. Ladies and gentlemen, the New Orleans Saints once again. Glad to have Colin Reynolds here to talk about his team, man. So with that said, Colin, real quick, man, Saints last season, what you got for us real quick? Sum up last season for us.
Well, last season was obviously full of disappointment, but last season they put it totally on the shoulder of Drew Brees, and that was disappointing that you put the great Hall of Fame career on the line of one man. We wanted the storybook finish, but it didn't happen like that. Defense didn't gel as much as we thought it would. A lot of egos, to be honest with you. A lot of people want the big plays, but it takes small individual effort to make the big splash, and we didn't accomplish that feat on last year. But the great Drew Brees, man, he had his hoorah, and he rode off to the sunset, man. We got a quarterback battle going to go on down in training camp down here in the South, and the best man wins. But I'm pulling for Jameis, and our defense been rallying around Cam and Marshawn Lattimore, and got some bad news on yesterday with David Alamada, 6-game suspension. But hey, next man up. My theory, man. He got 50 people that's in the locker room that can do something. Not including kicking the punter. So kicking the punter and the lone snapper, but 50 people that can really do something in there, and we ready, man.
I love it, man, and absolutely, you guys got quite the battle, man. Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, even Ian Book, and this was interesting, Colin. When you guys, we're going to get into the draft a little bit later, but my goodness, man, Ian Book. This dude was actually pretty dang good at Notre Dame. Man. You can give him a few years. I know Jameis is, he's going to be the man. But my goodness, man, Ian Book is definitely somebody for the future. I really like what he brings to the table. He's a competitor. He's a good young man. And then Trevor Siemian. He had his chance over in Denver. He wasn't this amazing phenom, but I mean, he started. He knows he has some experience. So I'm just saying, and then you guys use Taysom Hill for pretty much everything. He does everything but sell popcorn. So I mean, it's incredible, man. Like what you guys do over there is incredible. With everything. Sean Payton's amazing. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff going on in that offense. So I know you said you're pulling for Jameis for Jameis Winston. But man, what do you think? You got 3 other quarterbacks that are actually pretty capable.
Well, honestly, Larry, listen, Ian is going to be a great player in this league, I believe. What it's going to be with New Orleans, honestly, I think he needs 2 years to actually get the feel for the game. It's much faster than he played at Notre Dame. Even though he's a mobile quarterback, he has that pocket presence. So I think that 2 years he'll be ready. And I think that James is going to do the same thing that Teddy did, come in and be phenomenal and get a big contract. So, well, Breeze is gone, so if James do it, and Mickey and his best want to spend some money, then they may sign James long term. But other than that, Trevor Siemian, he's a great vet. He can come in and spell somebody if injury was to happen. We'll knock on wood. But if injuries happen, I think that he's a quality player to come in and manage the game. But the thing about it is, like I tell you all the time, Larry, that everybody has to do their part. Everybody has to do their job. And if you accomplish a small thing, then, you can get over the hope, and then you'll start developing that confidence. And when that confidence comes, that's when you hit the big plays, man, and you do some things that you didn't think you could actually do faster than, you should develop,
I completely agree, man. You guys have quite the team, man. Alvin Kamara is still there, of course. We know Alvin. He's a lifer, it looks like, with the Saints, man. Latavius Murray is still doing his thing. Traquan Smith, man. This guy, I love watching him play football. Michael Thomas. I mean, seriously, man, this is a very good team. Ramczyk I feel like he's coming to his own now. This is a very good offense, and right now the defense is looking pretty good. Cameron Jordan, I mean, I've been a fan of his for a while now. Marcus Davenport, I remember seeing him. We even talked about him 2 years ago coming out of, when he was at, at Sam Houston State. We talked about him coming into the Senior Bowl and when he went to the Combine. And look he's over there starting for you guys now. I mean, everybody, man. DeMario Davis still holding it down. Malcolm Jenkins, I mean, what a great thing coming back home. We had that. Marshawn Lattimore. I'm sorry, he was coming back on. But I mean, it's incredible, man. Like, this entire team has really, some firepower has been lost. Of course, the great Drew Brees, as you said, we're off into the sunset. But my goodness, man, this team still has lots of firepower. Can you go ahead and talk about this current depth chart right now and what roles you think these guys are going to be taking on?
Well, Larry, this team is going to be much more enthused and hyped. I mean, like I said, great Drew Brees is gone, but think about it. We haven't had a vertical attack in 7 to 8 years, deep passes. And then when you gamble like that, it gets the defense hype. I don't know why, but you're a football player. Now, when the offense takes gambles and accomplish those big yards plays, the defense get ready to hit somebody.
Mm-hmm.
In the linebacker position, we're locked in at the linebacker position. I believe that Zach Bond is going to come in this year and spell DeMario. He may not start, but he's going to come in and spell him a little bit. We did lose Trey Henderson, but I believe that D-line is going to step up and they'll have some pass rushers that we can accomplish the pressure and to get take some pressure off of our linebackers to cover his long, and then Lattimore, Garner Johnson, Williams, those boys in the back, they're ball. So if you bear down on that quarterback, you putting pressure on, you putting him on his butt, then you're gonna get that ball out a little quicker. That second quicker can cause catastrophe. And I believe that with Malcolm Jenkins leading the way captain, playing 99.8% of the snaps, man. I mean, he's a seasoned vet. He's a critical thinker. He's always in the right place at the right time. I mean, I see nothing but great potential. I'm not gonna always go to defense and say Super Bowl every year, but I believe that we can be right there. And also, talking about depth, this is a position that haven't been key for us for the last few years. The tight end position. Do not sleep on the tight end position this year. That's all I want to say. Our tight end is going to play a big factor. Take some pressure off of Kamara. Take some pressure off of Michael Thomas. Our wide receiver core is not as strong. I heard you say Traquan, but we didn't got it for short hands. We lost Emmanuel Sanders, and we lost Cook, Jared Cook this year. But I believe that you're professional for a reason. I mean, if anybody can do it, me and you'll be out there, Larry. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you're not talented, but it's a wide range of ability and there's a thin margin for somebody to be in the NFL to be successful. But all across the board, we have 2 or 3 players at each position that's able to do quality work.
I completely agree, man. Yeah, it's not easy to make it to the NFL. That's why I always say, man, people can say what they want to, and I understand sometimes, because the emotion takes over, and sometimes teams look really bad. But don't forget, they're playing in an entire conference. Well, sorry, an entire league full of professional people. So at the end of the day, nobody just sucks. Some people are just better than others, and some people are better fits places here and there. So overall, I'm telling you, man, I'm loving what the Saints got going on right now. Let's talk about some free agency real quick, Colin. I mean, one pickup that I love, man, Nick Vannett, coming from the Broncos, tight end over to the Saints. That was huge. But then, of course, you did lose Jared Cook. He's going to the Chargers. I remember he was a Raider not too long ago. He was a long-time Packer. Emmanuel Sanders heading on over to the Bills. That was a pretty big departure. You guys did keep P.J. Williams. That was nice. You kept Jameis Winston. I thought this was pretty cool. I always mess up his name, but Sagon. I always butcher his name, so I'm sorry, man. But he's heading on over now as an edge rusher for the Saints. I mean, really, man, some big pickups, some big departures. Alex, oh my gosh. Anzalone, man, when I saw him head to the Lions, man, I know you were hyped on him when he was coming in, but he's on his way out. Trey Hendrickson coming in, he's also leaving, going to the Bengals. I mean, I'm just saying, there's been some departures, but there's also been some big pickups. So go ahead and take us through free agency real quick, Colin. Talk about your thoughts on some of the biggest departures and also some of the biggest pickups.
Well, we're gonna miss Trey Henderson. I mean, he went from a role player to a key player, and I mean, he was second in the league in sacks last year. I mean, you can't just replace that, overnight. It got to be something homegrown. It has to be somebody putting the work in the weight room, putting work in before and after practice. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on Cam and the rest of the line this year, just to fill that void. And also, man, I just think I got to put this out there for him as work, man. DeMario Davis can't tackle everybody every play. We can't have missed tackles. We can't have a missed tackle. Last year we had a lot of missed tackles and some people just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, not picking up the reads and giving up the big play. And I think that was a big loss. Jared Cook, even though Jared Cook wasn't always the target, he was a great route runner, and that diverted a lot of things for Alvin Kamara to come up the backside or come up the weak side. And also, it helped out Michael Thomas come back, but he was hurt this year. So by him getting hurt, then Traquan couldn't really handle all the pressure. So with that wide receiver core and Emmanuel Sanders, he was hit and miss. So I believe that Trey was a big loss, Jared Cook was a big loss, but I think that I see tight end is going to be a big position. We haven't been actually effective in the tight end position since Jimmy left for Seattle, when we traded for Max Unger a few years back. But I believe this year is going to be solidify who's going to be who and what's going to be what. And when I say that, I mean, Larry, that it's going to be people that's not always on the scorecard, meaning that it's not going to be always the person to get the tackle, it's going to be the person that made the block. It's not going to always be the person to get the strip, but the person that broke the double team. People that doing the small things. I think that's how we made our identity in New Orleans, being the gritty team. Bound the gate, not saying nothing like that, but we always have been a physical team, and we made ourselves known for being at the right place, right time, making the plays that people didn't think we could make. And this year, I think we put a step back in the right direction.
I like it, and honestly, I think so too, man. I'm very hyped up right now on the Saints, man, as you can't tell, because it's just, man, this coaching staff, I really like the ownership. I mean, because honestly, man, the Saints are just a good organization, in my opinion. If anybody wants to disagree with that, that's fine, but I personally, I just really like the organization, Colin, because I just feel like everything's always so well put together, at least in my opinion.
Well, man, we appreciate that, man. Ms. Benson, she's a great lady, man. I like how she do with the community, man. She's doing a lot of things with the medical centers and everything in New Orleans, bro. With the great Mr. Tom Benson, he's been going about 3 years now, and she made a vow to, make New Orleans sports and also the community better, and she does that, to the best of her ability. And also with Mickey, man. Mickey, a lot of people, they talk about how Mickey, he does not manage the salary cap well, but man, Mickey Loomis, the Saints, man, we have a cap room casualty, man. We always find millions of dollars out of 50 cents, man. He makes it happen to get up without tax cuts and everything, getting the penalty and all that. But if I wasn't a Saints fan, the way you treat people, that will make you a fan. It's almost like you go into a supermarket, Larry. You may not a restaurant. You may not always like their food, but you're going to go visit there because the way they treat you, the customer service, not like no other. So here in New Orleans, man, you know it, bro. We're family oriented, man. We love football. We love each other, man. And we play not just for the city, but we play for the names on our back, and that's all we got. And that's it, man.
I love that. I really do, man. This is very special, and I really, really think that is absolutely incredible, man. So it's the relationships that are built and all the the ownership. I just really think it's amazing, man. So with that said, Colin, let's talk about this Saints draft, man. Overall, I'm just gonna be real. Like, I really think I liked what you guys did. I really did, man. You guys brought in who I thought you should bring in, and overall, man, it's just, I don't know. I'm really, really, really excited to hear what you want to say. You may have a different perspective than me. I don't know, but a couple picks, of course. You guys had the 28th overall pick, and you guys brought in Peyton Turner, defensive end out of Houston. The big man, he's a heck of an edge rusher, man. So I really think you guys did something good there in the second round. You will take up Pete Werner from Ohio State, another very good linebacker. I know Anzalone's gone, but Anzalone's gone now. So I'm just saying, I think that's really, really cool that, you guys brought somebody in who's capable of replacing him. Paulson Adebedo, I believe, corner out of Stanford. I know who he is somewhat because of Stanford, Pac-12 guy. So, Ian Book, of course, we talked about him coming out, Notre Dame, quarterback. I'm just saying, man, overall, I know it's not everybody, but just a few picks in there. Go ahead, man. Go into depth, go into detail, everything about the draft, man. And, of course, give you guys a grade.
Honestly, man, I give it like a C. It was average. It wasn't the best because it's a little personal for me because there are a lot of LSU players always on the board, and we don't keep our homegrown talent here in New Orleans, and that's I'm not very proud of that. I mean, LSU was a great school, put out great talent, and we just passed up on them all the time. And LSU had a couple of nice linebackers this year that was available, and we didn't pick them up. But I like Warner. I mean, no shade thrown to him, but I feel like if you have homegrown talent, you can give him a shot, man. But I think that we should have drafted a wide receiver, maybe a little higher. But the need was D-line linebacker. Lost Trent Henderson, lost Anzalone, so that was big. The quarterback, I think that he's gonna have to play sooner than later. Admin reports from our WWL Sports Radio, and also they had a couple of ghost riders who I was posting on Twitter and different websites was about the Richard Sherman thing. But now after this controversy with him, I don't think that we're going to pick him up. So the rookie, he out of Stanford, he going to play sooner. I don't think he's going to start, but he's going to play sooner than later, man. And then, like I told you, we talked about Book with the quarterback situation. He has to sit, man, and wait his turn, and hopefully it works out. But the pick that was big to me, that's really a sleeper, Kawan Baker. Listen, he's going to get Devontae Harris out of the punt game, and Devontae Harris can be that third, fourth receiver in the slot. This man is fast. He's running punts back, kicks for us. He didn't want to help Alvin Kamara stop being able to run kicks back. And this dude right here, Baker, he can get back that run kicks back, and also he can slide into the slot. He can be the fourth receiver. So speed. And when you have you have Traquan, you have Dante Harris, and then you have Baker. These dudes running the field vertical, and then you have Kamara come underneath the bottom. You got Michael Thomas. And then you got James can throw the ball. It's going to open up our offense, and I'm grateful for that. And then the other pick, the young guy out of Kentucky, Landon Young. Listen, Ramczyk, Armstead are locked up. Man, our offensive line, I think, was like, I'm not mistaken, it was top 5. I'm not mistaken with that O-line. Don't quote me on that ranking, but if this guy can sit behind these dudes for 2 or 3 years and also get some reps, man, our run game, our offense period is going to be great for a long time to come, man. So I say C because they did what was best for them as the position needs, but not the best, I'm saying, the best available. Like, you know how, you may have, say, for example, you might have a Peyton Manning was available at 1, but did you need Peyton Manning? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people take the best talent, but not the greatest need. And we went with needs instead of talent, and hopefully it pays off for us, man. You know, that 06 draft was crucial for us. That 12 draft was pretty good for us. So we went with our needs, and hopefully it can cash in for us, man.
I like it, and I totally get what you're saying, Colin. Like, I get you, man. I thought, pretty good, but I completely see where you're going, and yeah. So I can totally see where you see average. And really, overall, man, these Saints, the big part about this, let's talk about the division real quick, because, of course, I'm going to have you, stick it to them in a few minutes. Of course, you'll be the first stick it to them of the entire week, man. I cannot wait. I mean, Colin, it just happened. I mean, seriously, I know you would have much rather had your Saints win the bowl this year than the Bucks. I know you're not too fond of the Bucks or the Panthers or those Falcons, but I'll tell you something. I know that, but I know something for real here, Colin. For real, man. If there was ever another way, like one of the other teams in your division, to actually get to the bowl and win it, and we start things off with the Saints, because, of course, if the Saints would have won, you would have been the last team, which is just fine. But I'm just saying, Colin, I mean, if there's ever a way to kick off 8 divisions in 8 days, it's going to have to be with your stick it to them, because, boy, do you stick it to them, man.
Oh, man, it hurts that I'm first, but, man, hey, listen, first shall be last, and last shall be first, man.
It's the truth, man, and I'm excited for what's to come, man. But real quick, I just want to, talk real fast before we get into stick it to them. I guess, my big thing is I want to talk about the Saints right now and in this division, because the Falcons, we don't really know. And like I said, I don't want to stick it to them just yet, so don't get crazy and trash talking just yet. I can't wait for that coming up in a few minutes. But real quick, just talk about the Saints and the Saints alone, man. Going into this season, man, you guys, the division could be really whatever. You got the defending champs in there. What are you looking at right now? Like, how do you personally feel these Saints are really going to do this year? I know you said, you're realistic. You're not necessarily looking at Super Bowl at the moment, but my goodness, Colin, I mean, I know the thought's always there. Even with my terrible Raiders, I'm like, man, Super Bowl, because you get excited and everything. But when it comes down to it, I'm serious, man. When it comes down to it, what are you looking for? Like, what are you looking at right now? What do you think this team is really capable of doing this year?
Well, Larry, I think that this team is capable of being the envelope stampers. When I say envelope stampers, I mean that we can put a stamp on the field, and we can seal the deal to us, win a division and going to the playoffs. But it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. But you can't move too slow-footed because of the great Tom Brady. I mean, 43 years old, man, on a torn MCL. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. I mean, kudos is due, man. Credit was credit due. This division is always up in the air because you have different teams that can do different things, and you don't know what to expect every given week. No matter if it's a rivalry game, no matter if it's a division game, or it's just, looking at the scoreboard like, hold on, they're down by 10, 20, then they're up by 10, 20, depends on what team it is. It doesn't matter what team it is. The NFC South is a tough division, and I believe that our Saints are able to weather the storm. When I mean weather the storm, we had some games where we just fell apart. And we had an all-season that was very emotional all-season with the scare with money. We didn't think a lot of people were going to be back. We thought it was going to be a free-fall. And we thought we were going to sell everything and rebuild. But then, like I said, Mickey Loomis and Miss Benson, it's like, nah, it's not time to rebuild. Like, listen, we still believe. We still believe in, Drew is gone. We're going to pick up the pieces and we're going to keep going. And I honestly, now I think that we can even split. I'm not going into the trash talk, but we can split with the Bucks. If we can split with the Bucks and the Falcons, we can split with them. But we have to beat the Panthers twice. We split with them and we can win a division like that way. Because I don't believe that the Bucks were going to catch everybody off guard again, like they did. I mean, everybody expected Tom to be Tom. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think anybody expected them to be as efficient with the unknown. But, I mean, come on. There's pieces, man. Fournette, Goodwin. Man, AB, man. I mean, Fournette. Not Fournette. Tom Brady, Gronk. I mean, that's just the offense, man. I mean, there's some pieces, man. I mean, so I'm grateful. I'm grateful that it came out of our division. It wasn't the same, but I'm grateful that it came out of our division. A tough, gut-wrenching division, man. But, hey, man, the Who That Nation is still get alive. We've been wounded. We've been down. We came from the ain'ts. We came from nothing. We're still here, and we ready to fight and live another day. So, man, another week so before training camp? Hey, man. Hey, how you say, man? Let the good time roll.
I loving it, man. So with that said, Colin, that time has come. I love it. You were being nice and respectful, but I think it's about time to lose that, man. Because it's about that time. It's about that time, Colin. So with that said, man, this is a segment that you're going to hear all throughout 8 Divisions in 8 Days. This is where our fans here, of course, get a chance to stick it to the other team right here live on air, because you know what, as it goes, we're all, football is family. It brings everybody together, but my goodness, for those 3 hours during those weeks, it is just all out war, and that's all there is to it. So Colin, usually goes, it could be respectful, it could be crazy and fiery, it could be a combination of both. You already heard Colin's respectful side, so have some fun. With that said, Colin, you know the drill, brother. Buccaneers, Falcons, Panthers, stick it to them.
Well, listen. The Carolina Panthers, the Carolina Kitty Cats, whatever they want to be called, that is overrated. Like no other. I mean, McCaffrey is great, but outside of him, that's a wrap. The Falcons don't know what they want to do. They don't know if they want to sit on the perch or they want to fly away and run. They don't know what they want to do. You chose Matt Ryan over Julio. Julio was just your cornerstone. You don't trade your cornerstone for nothing. That was just totally disrespectful. grateful that they did trade him to the AFC. Thank you, Atlanta. I think Fontenot, our front office guy went to Atlanta. Thank you for helping the Saints. You did that, so we appreciate it. But y'all still a dookie. In the Bucks, with all respect, I ask you to do. You got to beat the champs. You have to beat the champs. And listen, Mr. Brady, I give you props. I give you credit. I give you kudos for doing the unthinkable. They thought that Belichick needed you. You needed Belichick, but it's true that Belichick needed you, Mr. Brady. But now, the Who That Nation needs for you to lay down and give us our place back. Matter of fact, don't lay down. We're going to make you lay down. We're going to take it back. But the Who That Nation is here. We're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. Y'all going to be one and done. We coming back strong. This one right here is for the city. This one is for the nation, the Who That Nation. And don't forget, we got Drew in the back. This one, we're going to do this one for Drew, baby. You fell short. We had referee gates. We had plays negated, but that's all right, man. The Who That Nation is back. And listen, Larry, I don't know, but I got to think about my boy, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. I take a block on his book. Do you smell it? When the gumbo is cooking.
Ladies and gentlemen, Callum Reynolds. The applause button has been hit, my good sir. I mean, brother, that was incredible. Oh my gosh, man! You want fire? We wanted fire. We just got fire. I mean, Callum, you set the tone for the whole gosh dang the entire series of 8 divisions in 8 days this year, Callum. So thank you so much. I cannot wait, man, to have you back on for some primetime face-offs. I cannot wait to just interact with you, brother. And you know what? Like I always tell Callum, man, we really want a Louisiana sports show to cover all Louisiana sports. We know Colin is definitely the guy, but you know what, man? At the end of the day, I mean, we're going to have to roll with somebody else. But I'll tell you what, man, Colin would always be my first selection just because, I mean, he's been my brother for so many years, man. But I'll tell you right now, Colin, man, this dude, if anybody loves his Louisiana sports, if anybody loves that state and loves his teams more, I mean, it's this guy right here. So I'm just very happy and privileged to have had you a part of iSports Radio at one time, and of course have you here right now and just have you coming back on. Always there when we need you, man, and we appreciate you, brother. I am here to tell you today that you are officially nominated to the iSports Radio Hall of Fame vote this year.
Thank you, sir.
So you deserve it, brother. You deserve it. We got, see if we can get you one of them gold T-shirts, man. We definitely appreciate you, and I think, I think you were nominated last year. I think, right?
Yeah, man.
It's okay though. We're gonna keep trying, man. I definitely think you deserve to be in there, brother, and I know that you definitely deserve this. And
I gotta get on some shows, get my voice heard, get my votes up, man.
Yeah, man. People gotta hear you, man, because I know they gotta hear you even more because you're one of the best guests we got, man. I appreciate you so much for being a part of this. So with that said, Colin, you know the deal, brother. Go ahead and let everybody know let all these diehard Saints fans find you, man. Where can they find you on social media?
On social media across the board, I'm the same. On FatMac_K. That's FATMAC_K. Stands for Faith in Trials, Make a Christian. With helping hands and loving hearts, we can make the world a better place.
That's right, man. Every single time I love it, man. Hearing that it's so great, man. So with that said, brother, thank you so much for being a part of today's show, man. I really appreciate you for being here today, making the time for us. And we just thank you so much, man, for all you do for us, man. So thank you so much, man. That's the truth right there. That's the God's honest truth all day long, y'all. I love that, man. I mean, it's just, that's the way it is, man. Fag Mac all day long. So, brother, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you very soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Take care, man. God bless.
All right, God bless, man.
Thank you, man. All right, y'all. With that said, that was Mr. Colin Reynolds again. I got to show him some love. That is going to do it for the first segment of this NFC South show right here on 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Kicking off NFC week with the NFC South episode 1 of 8 divisions in 8 days. We are coming right back with more NFC South after this. Once again, you're listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Let's
good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy white tea. We're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey guys, it's Blake Henley, better known as H-Town Blake to some of you. Happy to announce that Bases Loaded is back in full force. We'll be bringing that high heat every Tuesday night here on IE Sports Radio. So come home, get ready, dig into that batter's box, and see if you can chase that high heat, baby. So we'll be coming to you live with all the stats, all the rundowns, all the division rivalries, and every team that's going to make the playoff push to get to that one and only October and get to the pinnacle of what baseball is, to hoist that Commissioner's Trophy when it's all said and done.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, here we go, y'all. First day of 8 Division 8 days right here, 3 and out, 8 Division 8 days right here on IE Sports Radio. Starting things off here with NFC Week and in the NFC South. So, first off, we had Kylan Reynolds with his New Orleans Saints. Next up, y'all, Cuddy Cutright along with his Carolina Panthers, y'all. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into some Panthers talk. This dude right here is about as real as it gets, man. I'm so glad we were able to have him on the show last year. He creates jingles, man. This is what he does. He is an extremely talented individual. The guy is a jack of all trades, and I'm sure a master of plenty. You can go check out his brand new anthem for the Panthers. He'll be performing it soon, coming up. Go catch it on his Twitter page, of course, at Cuddy Cutright. That is CUTTYCUTRIGHT1, and show him some love, man. With that said, welcoming to the show. It's like his third or fourth time, I believe, being a part of the show. Glad to have him here, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Like I said, the man who created jingles himself and loves his Panthers. Welcoming the one and the only Mr. Cuddy Cutright. What's going on, brother? How you doing today, man? You and me both. I'm so damn excited. This is going to be a lot of fun, bro. So, with that said, let's go ahead and talk a little about last year, man. So, the Carolina Panthers last year. Give us every raw thought and emotion you have about them Panthers, man.
I felt like last year, man, there was a lot of close games that, we could have won. But we had a lot of bad defensive breakdowns and things like that. But I feel like this year, man, we got a better quarterback, man. I feel like our team will be focused. See, last year was really just okay, we don't got Cam Newton no more. We're going to settle for Teddy Bridgewater. So, we have to just deal with what we have to deal with. That's one of the reasons why I created the record last year called Recharge for the Panthers, which was a jingle they played at the stadium, man, several times. It was going all around Panther Nation. It was a good record, man. It was just really surrounded around last year, man, But I feel like one of the biggest things last year, man, was just getting rid of not having Cam Newton anymore, man. A lot of fans were up and down, you know what I'm saying? So that was really one of the majority thing.
Absolutely, man. I know it's definitely not the easiest thing, but it's a new era, a new generation. I like that, man. Recharge. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this man is popular. If you don't know him, please get to know him because he's very well known over there on the East Coast. And if you're a Panthers fan, you're gonna want to get to know him real soon, man. The man is an MC. He cuts tracks. He does great things, man. So once again, Cuddy Cutright, man. It's an honor to have you here on the show today. Thanks for breaking down last year. Let's go ahead and jump on over to overthecap.com and take a look at some of the key departures and some of the key pickups for this year from last year. So, of course, as we know, Teddy Bridgewater is now on the next chapter of his career, heading on over to the Broncos. Another departure. We have here Stephen Weatherly heading on over to the Vikings. Mike Davis, running back, heading over to the Falcons. So I mean, really, there were some big moves. Curtis Samuel, I just remember him recently, and he's heading on over to Washington. I mean, just a lot of big moves. Pharaoh Cooper on his way to the Jaguars. Also, Chris Mennertz over to the Jaguars. I mean, just a lot of big moves. But then you take a look at some of these big pickups, man, and I really like. I mean, there's some big stuff you got going on here. Of course, we all know Denzel Perryman. I got to see that man play. He's a heck of a linebacker, man. So he's heading on over to the Panthers. Cameron Irving, left guard, big boy there, heading over to the Panthers' offensive line. That looks to me like it should be, pretty darn solid. Also, Pat Elflein, a left guard from the Jets. I remember he got drafted. He's actually a very solid left guard. I like that a lot. David Moore, wide receiver from the Seahawks, heading on over. So, like I say, man, there's been a lot of pickups, a lot of key pickups and departures and everything. But with that said, man, give us your thoughts. Who are your biggest pickups and biggest departures, and why?
Well, honestly, man, when it comes to departure, man, this is how I look at things of that nature. A lot of players, man. It's like every year in the NFL, man. You could win the Super Bowl that year, and then in the off season, man, a lot of guys are gone. So it's like with the NFL, I look at departures and pickups, man. It's like a recycled situation. I mean, losing Curtis Samuel was very big because he was a very good offensive weapon for us. You know what I mean? He was very explosive, man. So losing him, honestly, in the wide receiver core is something that I feel like very huge. Now, when it comes to defensive players, like I feel like we picked up some good players, but I love the fact that our offensive line is seriously beefed up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We even picked up that big boy from Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know his name right off the top, but our offensive line is going to be beefed up. But I feel like our defense is going to be good too. I feel like Burns is going to do his thing as always. Then we got Chin in the back. We added a few more pieces with him. We still got Action Jack in the back. So, I'm real hyped up about this upcoming season, man. I'm very excited.
Oh, me too, man. I'm telling you, this Panthers team is on the move, man. I love what Coach Rule's got going on.
Mike Davis, too, man. I was kind of shocked at the Mike Davis move only because he went to Atlanta. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You have some battles with Atlanta, you're going to go right there to them. But, if that's the money, that's the money. So.
Yeah, I mean, we can't fault him. But I get you, brother. I get you totally, man. So let's go ahead and talk about this draft a little bit, though, Cuddy. We got some big pickups here, man. I'll tell you what, I really do like this draft. I'm really anxious to hear what you got to say, but a few pickups here from you guys in the draft this year with the 8th overall pick, Jace Horn.
I love Horn, man. I mean, the draft was a steal. In my opinion, we had a very good draft, but for me, the highlight of the draft was grabbing Horn, man, because he reminds me of Jalen Ramsey being a shutdown type of NFL player. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just hoping that can happen, man. Hopefully he comes in and fills that void and help out Chin and help out Action Jack. Because, we got Thieves Avenue over here in Carolina, man. So, we got some new thieves in the back. And, let's just hope they're really good at that.
I think so, man. And Jace Horn is definitely going to fall into that category, man. The man's a damn monster.
Like Jalen Ramsey, man. Like, I've seen, Darren Orlovsky, all these different guys on the NFL Network, like, really saying some good things about him. And, coming out of the SEC is not an easy conference, bro. Let's be real. SEC is one of the toughest conferences in the nation. So, for Horn to have to deal playing against Alabama players, playing against Florida players, and, them tough SEC opponents, man. It's just that serious, man.
No, I definitely agree, Cuddy. And I mean, SEC player, South Carolina. He's a very good size, 6'1", 200 pounds. Very good corner, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do, man. Terrence Marshall Jr. also, wide receiver out of LSU. I think he got slept on, man.
Yeah, man. He's going to be great. Like, listen, man, that's why I say I'm excited because even though we lost Samuel, man, we picked up some speed even though we lost him. So I'm not really concerned about, the wide receiver corps missing a step, man, with that extra pickup, bro. So I'm really, and then we got Christian McCaffrey coming back off the injury. So, that's going to be real good, too. I'm pretty sure he got a chip on his shoulder, missed the majority last year, not being able to go out there and fight with them boys, so.
Absolutely, man. So I like the draft, man. You got some other names on here. Brady Christensen, big tap coming out of BYU, of course, coming to help out the offensive line. Tommy Tremble, tight end. Chuba Hubbard, running back out of Oklahoma State. I'm not going to go over everybody, but, man, I thought you guys had a pretty solid draft. So overall, Cuddy, what would you say, man? What's the grade you would give your Panthers right now for that draft?
Man, honestly, I would give us a B+ for the draft. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like it might have been other players under that could have been grabbed, even though our, selection was what it was. But I give us a B+ overall. I feel like the steal of everything was, picking up Sam Bradford. I believe he's an excellent quarterback in a new situation with Joe Brady and Matt Rule, and they're going to really bring out the best in him. And he's, reunited with Robbie, so that's going to be a good look, man, a great look.
I think so too, man. I got a lot of faith in this team. I feel like sometimes like a low-key Panther fan, man. I mean, that was my high school mascot, but I'll tell you, man, this team, there's just so much promise, man. Like I said, Coach Rule, he just has, he has a great philosophy. We know Sam Darnold is there now, but we will not forget about P.J. Walker. Like, what is it, Cuddy? Some people just forget about P.J.
Man, I love P.J., man. P.J. is explosive, man. He's one of those dynamic quarterbacks that we need, honestly, in today's society. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I look at Sam Darnold as not the sunshine quarterback because he has a little bit of mobility as well, but the average quarterback like Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, it's not too many. Even Baker Mayfield, it's not a lot of guys that sit in the pocket and throw. The only one that can really get away with that is Tom Brady, man, today.
Yeah.
But other than that, everybody is really mobile. So, I'm hoping PJ can really show some light because I'm a big fan of PJ, man. I'm a big fan of PJ, man. I love his explosiveness. Every time you get in the field, he's ready to either run or chuck that ball deep. You know what I'm saying? So he reminds me of Mike Vick in a sense. You know what I'm saying? From his style of play.
Absolutely. I love it because it's true. We saw what he can do, man, when he was in the XFL last year or 2 years ago. No, last year when COVID hit and everything. I mean, they were 5-0 with the Roughnecks, man. The Houston Roughnecks. I mean, I think it was Houston, but and then of course it's cool because I mean, think about it. Coach Rule, that was his quarterback back in Temple. You know what I mean? Like that's awesome, man. So I mean, you got him back there. Of course, Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson. I thought that was huge, of course. You guys got some big time players, man, and the defense overall, I really, Matt Paredes as well at center, big beast. Now you got Pat Elflein, Cameron Irving, of course, heading on over. I just feel like this is, heading on over. Of course, he's been there, I think, but overall, this is a solid defense, a solid offense. I think he was there, but and then your defense, man. Looking at the defense. I mean, Denzel Perryman has just. I feel like that's such a big pickup, man. You guys have some dogs in the defensive line. Secondary definitely strong. Overall, man, I just want to know what are your thoughts now that we talked about a few players. Give us your thoughts, comments, concerns, opinions, everything you want to tell us, man, about those. About this the entire team. What are some roles that you think that some of these guys are going to play, and what do you really think you guys are going to do this year as a whole?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you off the rip, man. We're going 11-5. And I'm going to stamp that right now today on your show. I'm going to stamp that today. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia right now. And I'm going to stamp it on your show today that we're going 11-5 this year, man.
And I'm going
to stand up to that. When you call me in November, I'm going to still stand on that. Even if it ain't be 11-5 wins, I'm still standing on that.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. And Cuddy, don't forget, man, we got that 18-game season now. I mean, 17 games.
Oh, I forgot we got 18 games.
17 games, 18 weeks, yeah.
Everything. Wow, that's crazy. So they added an extra game to this game.
Mm-hmm.
We're going 12-5.
Hey,
we're
man.
going 12-5, my boy. Let me raise the notch a little bit. Let me raise the bet.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You guys.
I just feel like, man, in our division, man, you got Tampa Bay. They're going to be in the mix because Tom Brady is there. Atlanta's kind of Drew Brees retired, so you really can't say the Saints are going to be as good. So we should be able to at least be second in our division, man. You know what I mean? If we can't get past the Bucs, because last year we had some good games against the Bucs, man, but we just let it go at the end. And honestly, that had a lot to do with quarterback play too, man. So, and nothing against Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's an exceptional talent. He's a winner proven, but with Sam Bradford under the helm now, like you said, possibly P.J. Walker, I feel like, man, we'll be very dynamic, man. And I feel like our defense is full of studs, man. And we're going to just put it all together, man. I got a lot of faith, man. But, you can have faith, but I know the boys are going to get out there and execute, because don't nobody like losing, man. No matter how you look at it, in any shape, don't nobody like losing.
No, absolutely, man. Nobody like losing. And I feel like right now, man, this Panthers team is strong. They're tough. There is a lot of talent on this team, and really, I just kind of feel like it's your guys' ball to drop right now, man. I mean, you're absolutely right when talking about the rest of the division. So, as a matter of fact, Cuddy, man, we got to that fast, but I'm glad. Hey, like I said, you're a businessman. I know you got a lot of things to do, and you work fast, man. So ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. So let's go ahead and end out the segment, man. Let's get, ladies and gentlemen, Cuddy Cutright joining us here on 3 and Out. 8 divisions in 8 days, talking about his Carolina Panthers NFC South Day, first day of 8 divisions in 8 days this year. So, Cuddy, go ahead and throw some shade, man. Have some fun. This is the last segment of the show here, and of course, we like to call it "Stick It to 'em" because, well, at the end of the day, that's exactly what you're doing, man. You get to go ahead and talk about the rest of the teams in the division however you want to. You could be mean and nasty. You could be good and respectful. However you want to do it, man. Go ahead and let everybody know how you think the rest of the other 3 teams in the division are going to do this year. And, of course, let us know how you really feel about those teams, man. Without further ado, Cuddy, stick it to them.
First of all, let's start off with the Saints. Big kudos to Drew Brees. He did a great thing for that city, got him a ring and all of that during that time. But I believe without Drew Brees at the helm, those guys are going to suck. I mean, let's be real. Jameis Winston is an interception-prone machine. So I feel like our DBs, even linebackers may have a fun time playing the Saints, getting some interceptions this year. When it comes to the Falcons, man, Matt Ryan, he's old and washed up, unfortunately. And, they don't got Julio Jones no more, even though they added Mike Davis, but that still's not going to do anything. Todd Gurley's not who he used to be. So, I feel like those are going to be easy wins. And when it comes to the Bucs, man, there's nothing really I can say bad about them because they got Tom Brady at the helm. But man, we come to kick their ass this year, man. Tom Brady, if you're listening somewhere in the world, we coming to kick your ass this year, man.
I'm loving it, man. I'll tell you what, spoken as a true diehard, man. And really, like I said, man, I feel like these Panthers, there's something special about this team, man. They're young, they're ready. They got a coach who is just so damn eager to win. I mean, like I said, man, I just really feel like this Panthers team, they're ready to roll, man. So it's just they need the right pieces, the right things, some tweaking around here and there of things, and I just feel like they really have a great future if they can just keep rebuilding the way they are. And you're doing a great thing over there as well, man. So I definitely want to give you some time at the end of the segment, man. Go ahead, please tell everybody, number one, where they can find you, and please let them know about everything, the jingles you create, the tracks that you lace, man. Let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find all of that, and just what you do, man.
Yeah, you can definitely go on iTunes and type in Cuddy Cutright to find all Panther music. You can follow me on Instagram at Cuddy704 Live Cutright. You'll see majority of my videos on there. You can follow me on Twitter at Cuddy Cutright1. And you can also go on the website, jinglesforever.com is the website that I have where majority of my jingles are, where I've done for several teams, the NFL, the NBA, things like that. So everybody just check me out, man. We're going to have a lot of fun this year, man. I'm going to keep creating as we go along, and it's going to be a fun season, man. Fun season. I appreciate y'all for having me too, man.
All right, no, we thank you very much for being a part of this, and like I said, man, you're the real deal, man. You definitely do a lot. You work with a lot of big people, a lot of big teams, and you do great things, man. Like I said, that's what it's all about, man. You're living your best life, and I love what you got going on over there, man. So please keep doing your thing. I know I don't gotta tell you that. I'm just saying, keep doing your thing, keep working hard, man. And I can't wait to see what you do next, brother. So with that said, man, take care. God bless you and your family. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, man, and we'll talk to you soon on the show.
Hey, listen, man. Mid-season, I'll be coming back on the show mid-season. So everybody who's paying attention, we're going to get a date. In mid-season, I shall return to talk my trash.
Oh, I cannot wait. I mean, we're going to have you back, Cuddy. You know that, man. You're going to come back, and it's going to be fun, man. So we're looking forward to having you back, brother. But with that said, man, thanks again, man. And we'll talk to you soon, brother. Take care.
All right, brother.
All right, take care. All right, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Cuddy Cutright, great guy, man. So glad to have him part of the game show. And just what a good segment there. Hey, that was quick and fast. But man, he definitely put his points up, talked his trash, had some fun. And yeah, I just really feel like this Panthers team is a very solid Panthers team, and really they can do a lot. There's a lot going on. I've said it last year, and I know they weren't the big bad team that they've been in the past. But man, this team has been strong. They've done a lot. And it's neat to see how they've grown, what they're doing, Yeah, somebody like Cuddy, man, just showing his love, man, being such a big part of of the entire scene over there with in Pantherland, if you will, over there with the Panthers. So it's awesome, man. So with that said, y'all, that is gonna do it for those Carolina Panthers. Coming up next, we are talking Atlanta Falcons. You are listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Day number 1. We're just getting started, y'all. The party just started. We started with Kylam. Now we just ended up with Cuddy. We got plenty more to come halfway through day number 1 on 3 and Out, 8 divisions, NFC week, NFC South day. We will be right back after this. Once again, you're listening to 3 and Out on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hey USRN fans, do you have a product or company you're trying to promote? Look no further. USRN is teaming up with small local businesses trying to establish themselves via online promotion. Let us know if you're interested. Email us at usrnradio@gmail.com to learn more.
Hey, what's up, sports fans? You're looking for a different type of sports talk show, something you haven't heard before? You gotta check out the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday on 2 Live Stews Radio, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sports talk at its finest. Always have great guests, playing some good hip-hop. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to tune in to the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, football fans. Alrighty. Day number 1 of NFC week. We are 2 teams down, 2 teams to go. And we are here live with another fellow podcaster, not of our network, but definitely doing big things with his, man. He's doing some great things, and I'm loving it. He was telling me a little bit ago, well, just a few minutes ago, about all the great things he's doing. And I can't wait to promote him here, and I'm glad to have him here for his first time, hopefully first time of many here on IE Sports Radio. So without further ado, to talk about his Atlanta Falcons, he is the host of Smitty's Sports Machine podcast on Spotify. I believe it's also on Anchor. You can catch him on YouTube. Please, once again, y'all, Smitty's Sports Machine podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming here to represent his Atlanta Falcons. Rise up, as I love to say for them Falcons. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, Mr. Antoine Smitty Smith. What's going on, Antoine? How you doing today, brother?
Hey, LB, how you doing, man? Just hanging around, man. Thank you for letting me come on and talk for a minute. A lot of people don't get to talk about Falcons football around the league. So I think I'd be blessed and do the honor of doing that.
Hey, man, it is a blessing to have you here today. The show, of course, we recorded this last night. Of course, everybody listening to the live show right now. This was, of course, recorded yesterday on Sunday. But yeah, NFC South, the first team, the first division up this season for 8 divisions in 8 days, day one, simply because the Bucks won it all. So I put that division first. Been doing that for the last couple of years. But we got the Buccaneers coming up after this. We already talked to Colin Reynolds today. With his Saints, we talked to Cuddy Cutright about his Panthers. Right now, we're talking to Antoine, and in a little bit, you guys will catch Dontarius Locke talking about his Super Bowl winning Bucks. But with that said, right now it is Falcons time. So as I said earlier, y'all rise up because here we go. So let's go ahead and do this thing, Antoine. Here we go, man. So first and foremost, last season, I want every raw emotion, man. What were your thoughts? Everything from the beginning to end. What were your thoughts on last season for your Falcons?
Last season was kind of disappointing. I'm not going to tell you a story, man, because I feel like we had the team to make a decent run and make a playoff run, but injuries always catch up. Players don't perform up to their contracts, and it was kind of disappointing. But hey, what can you do? Try to rebuild. Build another team, build a winner. That's all you can do. New head coach, new regime, hopefully different outcome. And from what I'm seeing right now, I like what they're doing. So I think everything is heading in the right direction.
I think so too. I mean, honestly, we're just a few years removed from, and I'm not going to get into the 24-3 or whichever. I'm not none of that nonsense. But I will say that we're a few years removed from the Falcons being on that stage. So, I mean, I don't know. Things happen here and there. Things rise and fall. It's like history. Empires rise and fall and all that. But I feel like, it is what it is. But for the Falcons, man, there's so much to build on right now. This team is not trash. And for anybody who wants to challenge me on that, I mean, the players say it all. So it's not a bad football team. It's just they don't have everybody they need at the moment. So, I mean, you guys are like halfway there. I mean, so with who you guys got. So let's take a look at some of these free agency acquisitions, man. So first and foremost, the big one. You already know I was going to ask about this. I don't want to beat a dead horse, and I'm sorry. But first things first. We're going to get into the rest of them in a little bit, but what happened with Julio, man? Tell us, what really, or at least what do you think really happened?
My honest opinion, I think time happened.
Yeah.
When you get along in your career at the 10-year point, 9 times out of 10, you're on the back end of your career, heading down towards the finish line to the end of your career. And I think Julio wanted to try something new, which I don't, pretty much blame him because it would be his third head coach, 4th offensive coordinator to go up under and to play up under, and I think that he just wanted to change. And I can't be mad at that. And you look at what they've drafted the last couple of years. You draft Calvin Ridley in 2018. We know he's going to be Julio's replacement. You draft Kyle Pitts in 2021. Pretty much slammed the door on Julio. Mm-hmm. So he just beat them to the punch. I think he said it's time for a change. Let these kids shine. Let them get their shine on. I go somewhere try to win a ring before I wind down my Hall of Fame career. And I think that's pretty much how it played out in his mind.
Oh, man. Well, there you go. I mean, that's how I feel. I seriously feel like that. Like, time. You're absolutely correct. And, yeah, it's time to change the scenery is what it is. But Julio's on to another team. Mike Vrabel's going to be his coach. I think they're going to do their thing over there. But, all best to Julio. But, yeah, man, because, change the scenery and all that. But with that said, Dante Fowler, to me, that's the biggest blow to the team, to losing him. But as for the rest, there were some good pickups and lots more. So let's roll through these real fast. Dante Fowler Jr., you guys keep him. Alex Mack, though. Tuffy, he's actually heading on over to the Niners. Ricardo Allen, safety, heading over to the Bengals. You guys did acquire Cordell Patterson from the Bears.
Right.
Duron Harmon also coming over from the Lions. I thought that was pretty big. We have here, let's see, Mike Davis coming over from the Packers. Running back, from the Panthers.
I think Mike Davis is probably going to be the biggest surprise out of all the free agents that Atlanta has signed because he really hasn't had a chance to shine. But he'll get his workload in Atlanta. They can put a speed back next to him, give him a couple of blows on third downs. I think it will extend his extend, what he can do with the Falcons. Because if they put the right running back next to him, I think it would be a nice two-headed monster. I don't count Cordell Patterson as a running back. I think he's more of a gadget guy because he can line up at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, anywhere on the field. Mm-hmm. So I think Mike Davis, along with whomever else, I think it would be probably the biggest surprise of the offseason.
I think so too, and some good pickups too. Eric Harris, man, I'm a Raider fan, so I remember him, having a big breakout game against the Chargers, I think, a couple of years ago. Good DB. Right. You guys lost some tough ones though, man. Darquez Zenard, he that's a tough one, man. The Cardinals, he's gone over to the Cardinals, and the other one it's a stake, man. This one hurts a little bit. Is seeing Devontae Casey going to the Cowboys, man. Those are two good DBs that you guys just lost. It's a little tough right there.
We lost Keanu Neal too to the Cowboys.
That's right.
So Dan Quinn has really got his same back end of his defense in Atlanta down in Dallas. So if he can put everything together the right way, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not going to name everybody, but with that said, I mean, you already named Mike Davis your biggest acquisition. Anybody else that you feel are the biggest, the people you picked up or the ones who departed? Which ones do you think are biggest in both ways? The biggest drops and the biggest pickups?
That's a real good question. To be honest, I think Todd Gurley, a lot of people don't talk about it, but Todd Gurley is a big loss. I don't think they used him properly last year, which is why he didn't produce, and which is why I think his knee gave out on halfway through the season. Mm-hmm. If they used him in a little bit running back by committee, I think it would extend his season a little bit longer, and I think they would have got more production out of him. And also, he's a very good receiving back, and I don't think they threw him the ball enough in the offense last year. But it's the past, and we got to move on. But I think Todd Gurley in this offense with his own blocking scheme, which fits him, I think it would probably add another 2 years onto his career.
Awesome stuff, man. Well, with that said, let's take a little bit of look here on all the good stuff with this draft, man. Some people didn't really care for. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure some people have had their thoughts. I really feel like, honestly, you guys had a great, a pretty good draft. So I would say great, but man, 4th overall pick, Kyle Pitts, tight end. This young man, we knew, everybody knew coming out, he was going to go somewhere and do something. I mean, that's all there is to it. And look at him, man. He's a freaking giant. He's a heck of an athlete. I mean, I really think he's going to come out and do his thing from Florida. We have Richie Grant, of course, coming on out. A safety from UCF. You have Jalen Mayfield, offensive tackle.
Defensive steal of the draft.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree, man. Jalen Mayfield, tackle, big boy out of Michigan, helping beef up that line. Darren Hall, corner out of San Diego State. I'm a fan of San Diego State and USC, so I know you got some good stuff there. But yeah, not going to go into every single pick, but still, man, you guys have some pretty good picks. Go ahead and talk about that draft real quick, Antoine, and tell us, give us your grade if you'd like.
If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see my grade, but I gave them a B+. Okay. I still think they should have taken a running back, but to be honest, with what they got in undrafted free agency with Javian Hawkins, who was probably a 4th or 5th round pick in most mock drafts, I think they got a steal in that undrafted free agency part. But Kyle Pitts, man, ultimate weapon. I think he'll draw double teams, line them up all over the field. I think he'll have the same effect as Julio Jones. We don't know what kind of numbers he's going to put up yet, but you pair him with a former MVP quarterback and a running game that can open up the passing game, I think Atlanta offense can still be pretty productive. But overall, like I said, the first 3 picks, they got exactly what they needed. Someone on the back end, as safety and Richie Grant, and offensive line and Jalen Mayfield, who can play guard or tackle. Because they lack depth at that position. Mm-hmm. So all picks from 1 through 9, very good picks.
I thought so as well, man. You have a very good draft. B plus is a good one. Once again, y'all, make sure to go check it out on YouTube, man. This man knows exactly what he's talking about. I'm loving it, and he tells it how it is, y'all. And that's, to me, what a podcast, what a show really should be. So once again, y'all, go check it out on YouTube. Smitty's Sports Machine Podcast. I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of great videos on there. I'm going to go check it out myself after this. But let's go and take a look here at the depth chart, man. This is where it all comes together now. So right now, this is what we're looking like, at least for the moment. Matt Ryan, of course, still starting. I got AJ McCarron and Felipe Franks behind him. We have here Mike Davis chilling, doing his thing there. He's here. Calvin Ridley, a guy that I just loved when you picked him up a couple of years ago, and now he looks like he just might be that guy now. Russell Gage, you have Olamide Zacchaeus, I don't butcher his name, but he's there. Kyle Pitts is another big target now, fresh target now. Pretty decent offensive line. Jake Matthews, of course, the cousin of we all know Clay Matthews. He's there. Chris Lindstrom. I remember watching this man, Chris Lindstrom, and I forgot who else was next to him. Oh man!
Actually, his brother came out this year, so y'all look for him as well because he's just as nasty. I think if Lindstrom can stay healthy, man, he has Quentin Nelson potential, but he's had to stay healthy. But I think he's probably the biggest question mark, even though he's one of the best linemen. His health is probably a question mark. But I think he's one of the best linemen that the Falcons have.
I agree because I remember watching him a couple of years ago in the Senior Bowl when he was playing right tackle and right guard was a young man who went to the Broncos. His name is Dalton Reisner. Those two absolutely,
right.
They manhandled everybody on that side of the line. I'm like, man, those two guys, wherever they go, they're going to get a damn good offensive lineman. And, well, there's Lindstrom doing his thing at right guard, so for you guys. So I love it. I did not know about his brother, though. That's cool, man. Where did he go? You said his brother just came out?
Yes. I don't remember where he think he was undrafted free agent, but I don't remember where he went.
Oh man, well I'm gonna keep an eye out for him for sure. Then of course Jacob Mariner, we have Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett is that's a complete player, as in just a good man. He is a good person to his entire community. He does everything. I mean, that's like a Man of the Year nominee in my opinion. This guy is just a good man.
And I can't wait to see what he does in Dean Peace's defense. In this defense, he'll be a defensive end. And I think Dante Fowler now is up next to him. I think he gets back to where he needs to be because when he had 11 sacks his last year in L.A., he was lined up next to Aaron Donald, who was a great defensive tackle, probably the best defensive player in the league. So you line him up next to Grady Jarrett, I think he'll get back to double digits in sacks. So I can't wait to see how that plays out.
Okay, you and me both. I think that's going to be amazing seeing these guys playing. Seeing all these guys, Mariner, Jarrett, Davidson, and Fowler. I mean, that's going to be amazing seeing this happen, man. Classic 4-3 defense here. I'm loving it. We have Walker, Jones, Oquan. I believe I don't butcher his name, but amazing athletes here. Great, pretty good linebacking core. Okay, I like this linebacking core. Then we have Terrell, Grant, Harmon, and Sheffield. Overall, man, this is a pretty good defense. So go ahead and tell everybody, Antoine, what are some roles that you think each of these guys or a couple of these guys are going to be playing moving forward into the season? And then, of course, where do you see this team going this year? What do you really think they can do?
Defensive-wise, man, I think the linebackers are the strength of the team because Deion Jones and Oye Olawokun, I think they're two of the most versatile linebackers in the NFL. Mikael Walker, who they drafted last year, played very well in limited playing time. Will probably get the full slate of starts this year. So athletic as their linebackers are, in a 3-4 zone blitz type scheme, they can wreak havoc all over the field. This is what I'm going to like about this defense. As you said, the safeties, the Eric Harris, who's pretty much a box safety, Deron Harmon, who's a veteran who can cover, play the slot, and do what he needs to do. Darren Hall, who's a rookie, He's a clone of the Money KZ, I think. So he can play slot corner or outside corner. Isaiah Oliver, who played slot last year, who moved to slot actually late in the season, excelled in it. I think that's where he played, so the outside next to A.J. Terrell will probably be up for grabs. So this defense, man, if everything goes as planned and as he wants it to go, I think this could be a solid top 15 defense. As for prediction, I think I'm going to hold that to I see what goes on in preseason because through training camp, it always tells us who's going to, step up and outplay a veteran because there's always a young guy more hungrier than a veteran that's already on the team. I have yet to see who that is, and I make the decision when it gets closer. But from what I'm hearing, I think Frank Darby, the wide receiver from Arizona State, I think he can slide into that number 3 wide receiver position. But as far as a record, I think I'm going to go middle of the road because, as I said, new regime, new staff, everybody has to gel. But depending on how they gel between the first 4 and 5 games, I can see them with like a 10-7 record. Or if they don't gel, they can still be 9-8, 8-9, or somewhere in that range.
And that sounds good, man. I mean, honestly, and I love it. I like how you put it. You got to see things first, and absolutely. And of course, I'm sure you can catch that and plenty more Falcons talk once again, y'all, over on his YouTube channel, his podcast, of course, Smitty's Sports Machine podcast. Make sure to check that out. So with that said, last but not least, Antoine, one last deal. All right. So as you just heard with the last guest that we just had right now, guess as you were coming on, this is always a fun segment where you can talk a lot of trash, talk a little bit of trash, have some fun. You can be respectful, you can be crazy, however you want to do it, Antoine. Be crazy and mean and nasty, or be nice, polite, and gentleman-like, or have a mixture of both. It doesn't matter, man. You let us know how you think the rest of those 3 teams in your division are going to do this year. And at the end of the day, hey, man, you let everybody know how you feel about those teams just in general. At the end of the day, it's all love. Football is family, as Meg Renan and our PR department always says. But, hey, man, ain't nothing wrong with having a little bit of fun with some rivalries. So with that said, Antoine Smitty Smith, it is time, brother. Go ahead and stick it to him.
I'm going to make this quick, man, because I talk junk, but I like to keep that for the season. But you will see that as the season goes on. But the New Orleans Saints, I think they take the biggest blow, man, losing Drew Brees, having to fill in with a new quarterback. I don't think Taysom Hill's that guy, and I don't think Jameis Winston is that guy. But let's be real, Jameis Winston threw 30 touchdown passes. So we could get either this Jameis Winston or that Jameis Winston. So I think defensively they still probably look strong, but I think offense is going to flutter a little bit, which makes them fall just a little bit. Tampa Bay, let's be real, defense carried them all last year, second half. Which is the reason why they won the Super Bowl. Everybody thinks it was Tom Brady, but it was that defense. I think Devin White is that next generation type linebacker. So I think they'll stay on the road. All they have to do is keep Tom Brady standing upright. Last but not least, Carolina Panthers. I think they get CMC back this year. They get Sam Darnold, which I think was a steal. He fits perfectly in Matt Rule's offense. They probably still need one more receiver and maybe a tight end. But defensive-wise, I think it's their strength. And they did the right thing by drafting all defense in 2020, which is why they wanted to worry about it for a couple of years. Defense still be that staple. But out of the 3 teams, I still like Tampa Bay because of Tom Brady and that defense. Perfect mix, very solid, good coaching. Nobody talks about that coaching staff. Bruce Arians had put together an A+ coaching staff. And I think the Bucs come out of the NFC South, and I think my Falcons finish third.
Okay, well, I'm loving it, man, because you might say the realist, but then again, this team is good, man. They're well put together. They may surprise us, so who knows, man. But with that said, wonderful job, man. As always, great stuff there, man. Sound the thunder, sound the lightning, and hit the applause button, man, because you're the real deal, man. It was great having you on today, man. You're the real MVP, brother. That was awesome having you a part of today's show. Now, go ahead and let everybody know, Mr. Antoine, where can all these diehard Falcons fans right now find you on Twitter, of course, YouTube channel, on Spotify, all those things you want to share, man. Let everybody know where they can find you.
They can find me on Spotify at Smitty Sports Machine, YouTube at Smitty Sports Machine. But to find everything that I do, even blogging, writing, YouTube, anything that I do, they can find on Twitter at FatBoySlim_21. That's FATBOISLIM_21. Anything that I do, you can find it there. You can interact with me. I interact with everybody. A lot of Atlanta fans follow me from as far as California. So I love for you to join the conversation. I'm always free to talk, and that's just what I do, man. I just love sports.
Hey, man, that's why we're all here, man. So with that said, Mr. Smitty, it has been an honor having you on today's show, man. Look forward to having you back many, many more times coming up, man. And I definitely look forward to checking out your podcast, man. So thank you once again for having, for being with us here today. Take care, man. God bless you and your family. Have a wonderful weekend, and a wonderful weekend. Look forward to having you back soon, man.
No problem, man. Anytime.
All right, sounds good, bro. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right, take care. All right, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Antoine Smitty Smith. What a great guy, man. That was awesome and really nice to have, some great opinions and some great stuff like that, man. So he did a wonderful job, and it was great having him aboard. And certainly looking forward to having him back on the show soon. But with that said, y'all, that is actually, my goodness, like I said, we got 3 teams down so far of the day. Now coming up next, we got, as I said earlier, Mr. Dontarius Locke coming with it right now, getting y'all ready for this getting you ready for the recap of that Super Bowl winning season and where he thinks his team is going now. So, 3 teams down. You are listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Once again, 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. NFC Week, day number 1. NFC South Day. Saints, Panthers, Falcons are all down and ready. Nice, neat little bow on them. Let's get ready for those championship Buccaneers coming up right after this. Once again, you're listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy Dontarius Locke.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That gives you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
Motorsports takes many form, and there's one show on IE Sports Radio that's ready to cover it all.
I sure hope you're talking about you and I, Daryl, because I know the Extra Mile is the best place to go for everything motorsports related.
Yes, it is. From NASCAR to IndyCar to sports cars to everything in between, IE Sports Radio has everything covered for the fastest sport in the world.
Plus, don't forget all of our random shenanigans along the way.
That's right, Caitlin. So for plenty of motorsports coverage and plenty of Caitlinisms, check out The Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio with Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Caitlin Seen, Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Wrestling fans in the podcast world, you are in the right place to listen to the right show, the premier show in the professional wrestling podcasting world. This is Ring Rambling Radio, and you are listening to one of the co-hosts. I am Martin Sandoval, a.k.a. the SoCal Saint, along with my two co-hosts, the lovely Felicia and my boy Matt. Yes, every Saturday or every other Saturday morning, you can listen to us, the premier wrestling team, giving you the premier wrestling news, rumors, updates, event discussions, everything that has to do with professional wrestling. You're in the right place. IE Sports Radio presents Ring Rambling Radio. Don't miss it, because it's just too sweet.
What's up, everybody? This is Darren Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you. Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, as promised, I got him, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the man of the show so far. I mean, don't get me wrong. Got big ups to all of our guests from today. But to end off the first show, as I always say, for the last couple of years, 8 divisions in 8 days, I will always now put the first week of 8 divisions in 8 days will belong to the conference from wherever the team came who won it. And then, of course, the division that we do first will be the division of the team that won it all. And then that team will, of course, go last of that day, just because it's like, setting it up for the grand stage, best for last of this conference from the previous year, of this division and the conference of this previous year on day number 1. So we had a great day so far. Let's end this thing right, y'all. So with that said, I told you I'll go get him, man. He is the man, and he's about as diehard as it possibly gets. So happy to have him here today. He is one half of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, along with Davidson Crooks. Ladies and gentlemen, former professional track athlete and just all around great guy, man. Gigantic Bucks fan who's ready to tell you all about why his Bucks are probably could do it again this year. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Mr. Dontarius Locke. What's going on, brother? How you doing today, man?
How you doing, man? Everything's going pretty good. Football season's around the corner, so things are coming pretty fast. Definitely ready. It's another Sunday close to the NFL season.
It is, man. I'm so freaking excited, and I know for a fact, I know you are, man. We're getting ready to roll. Training camp's getting underway, of course, this week. This is great, man. So first things first, but let's talk about last year, man. What a dream season. I mean, the Bucks, there were some points in there where it was just, I remember you guys getting stomped. I forgot what game it was, but it was like 38-3 or 0 or something like that. I remember at some point in there, you guys got destroyed. And it's incredible to think, man. I mean, no one just... It was like more of that, like how Aaron Rodgers told the Packers fans that one time, relax, because that's exactly what it was, man. I mean, you guys just went in cruise control after a while and started destroying everybody, got all the way to the bowl and did the dang thing, man. Won a very good Super Bowl over the Chiefs, and you know what, man? The rest is history. So walk us through last season, man. Tell us all about it, every emotion from start to finish, all the way to that Lombardi, man.
It was an up and down year. As you said, it was like, a lot of things starting off with the beginning of the Bucs versus Saints. Already hyped up in the fact that Drew Brees and Tom Brady in the same division, going against each other. It started out that way, and we got blew out early. And being the fact that we did have COVID, COVID protocol, we didn't have preseason, so we're talking about a brand new quarterback. Even though it's a gifted quarterback, coming to a new franchise, need to learn the system, need to learn the players, get the chemistry. I knew it was going to take us a while to get situated. But, yeah, we started out rough, man. I mean, getting blew out by the Saints early was a hard thing. That wasn't the hardest part about it. The hardest part about it was trying to get Bruce Arians and Tom Brady on the same page. How would they react with us losing, with so much high expectations? So, we heard the jabs that was thrown. I personally didn't like it because it seemed like the same jab that was thrown at Jameis when Jameis was in Tampa. So it just felt like, different quarterback, same blame game from Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting back on track. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Continue, please.
So, we ended up getting back on track and started to click, but it just was that one team that, had our number. It was the Saints. We played them again on the Monday night. Got blew out again. So it actually was even worse at home. So, but it just seems like it was more so of a let's put on a show for America against the Saints for some reason. It's like Bruce Arians was trying to show that he's the captain of the ship against these teams. We weren't running the ball as much as we were against different teams. We were actually playing Brady ball against other teams to where we played against the Saints. It was more so let's match them point for point. No risking, no biscuit. Let's have these throws that Brady's probably not used to at this moment, or having miscommunication with some of the receivers. So we started adding players, and obviously Leonard Fournette came in and played hella great. Antonio Brown, which at this point I'm still lost to why people are still underrating this guy. We can't forget we talk about a guy that used to average over 115 catches a season, like one of the greatest receivers of all time. Mm-hmm. So we ended up throwing him in the fold. Gronk was still, kind of waking up later on in the season, but we began to start to click later on. The Bears game, that just was a terrible game regarding penalties. I believe we had like over 20 penalties that game. It was just a crazy game that we had. So then we ended up going against the Chiefs, and that was like a nightmare that you couldn't wake up from. And it started in the first quarter. Tyreek Hill was just doing whatever he wanted. It seemed like Todd Bowles was playing a Tampa 2 type defense, and every hole in that defense, they were exploiting, with Tyreek Hill. So obviously you get Tyreek Hill going. Now Travis Kelce gets to go, and Mahomes looked like the magician that he is. So, but with a few of those ups and downs, or those downs for that matter, we started to click when the time needed to. Actually, that was our last loss that we had against the Chiefs. And we just went on the roll after that. Things really started to click around playoff time. We had the Redskins first. We knew that game was going to be something that was going to get us started. But you can see in that game that we were very effective running. Leonard Fournette had one of his better games. Ronald Jones turned into the guy that he's been all season. And then now the big matchup, matchup 3 against the Saints. This is the one I was really nervous about because I just felt as if they had our number, right? They've beat us twice. I've heard in the past it's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. But it's just the fact that we were going into the dome, and they kind of knew just about everything to do with us, how to beat us, how to slow us down, everything. So I was expecting something similar, but the defense just looked much, much better this time around. Also, another thing is the reason why is because we were effective running the ball with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. Now, I've been preaching it all season long that we need to be very aggressive running the ball for us to win games and for our defense to look better. And that's what we did. Tom Brady is, a person that needs a running game in the offensive line. So once he has that, the play action works perfect for him. So We got that rolling there. We got the victory in New Orleans, and at that point, my mind was like, man, is this really going to happen? Also looking at the NFC side, looking at the AFC side, like, dang, okay, the Chiefs look like they look pretty impressive as well. So then we get to Green Bay, knowing that they wanted to rematch with us after what we did to them earlier in the season.
I remember that.
That game was kind of crazy. It was over early, but I wasn't expecting the same thing this time around. So, long story short, we ended up getting that victory. And now we're in the Super Bowl. At this point, the Super Bowl is in Tampa, and we're the team that's hosting. We're the team that's hosting, and we're actually there against a team that we lost to in the same turf earlier in the season. So it was kind of like, I'm not going to have to revisit this nightmare, but on a bigger stage. And but I just felt like since it was in Tampa and we were the first team, this is something that's like, there's no way we would lose at home. Like, I just, how I was thinking. And we were clicking, man, from the beginning. It's just like we were a totally different team than when we first played. Tyreek Hill is the person that gets that offense rolling, and we maintained it. We definitely came back out and ready. Shaq Barrett, JPP, they came after the quarterback. They got after Mahomes, and they got the job done. And to this day, I'm still, somewhat celebrating, and it feels great to say that we were the first team to win a Super Bowl on our home turf and host one at the same time. So it was a great season, man. It was very magical.
The applause button has been hit, brother. I'll tell you right now, man, that was a storybook ending if there ever was one. You gave so much detail, man. Thank you so much. Whenever I ask somebody to do this, man, I always love that kind of detail, and you just gave it as per usual, though, man. I'm telling you, I could ask anything in the podcast world to you guys, to you and your co-host Davidson, man. You guys always deliver, so that's not even a surprise, brother. But always, man, great stuff. And just what a wonderful way to end the season. And just what a way to do it, man. I mean, winning that game was amazing. And now we'll just go ahead and transfer on over into the free agency, man, because the main key is just keeping your team together. And overall, man, there was a lot of players. The key is keeping the team together. Well, I'm looking at free agency right now, courtesy of overthecap.com, and my goodness, man, you guys kept so many gosh dang players. A couple of departures, but my goodness, you guys kept a lot of players, man. So let's look at all the players you guys kept, man. Tom Brady, Shaquille Barrett, Donovan Smith, Levante David. We have Rob Gronkowski. Okay, Ndamukong Suh. You guys kept Cameron Brate. Brate is a damn beast. I mean, Steve McLendon. The names just go on, man. Antonio Brown stand. Raheem Nunez-Roches is stand. Kevin Minter, of course. Blaine Gabbert's, he's there. But Ryan Suckup. I mean, my goodness, man. Josh Wells, Chris Godwin, Jack Kinksey, I believe, or Kikshi, I don't butcher his name there, but Tanner Hudson, Jeremiah Ledbetter, Pat O'Connor, Aaron Stinney. My goodness, man. Actually, Stinney is one of my favorite players. He comes from a lower division school. I think I forgot where. But Zach Triner and Kyril Grayson, I believe. So, look at all these guys you guys kept. There were a couple of departures. Joe Haig, I believe, however you say his name, I don't butcher his name there, but right guard going to the Steelers, Ryan Smith, corner going to the Chargers, you had Anthony Auclair, tight end going to the Texans, Andrew Adams, of course, going over to the Eagles, at safety, Chappelle Russell from linebacker going to the Jags, but then you guys had a couple of big pickups as well. Giovanni Bernard, I think that is a damn good pickup, man. I mean, coming over from the Bengals, that's really cool. You said it. Brady loves his running game. Well, there you go. He got another weapon back there. I like that a lot. Antonio Hamilton. He came from the Chiefs over the Buccaneers, playing corner. Big pickup there. Joseph Jones, linebacker from the Broncos, coming on over to play. And Raven Green at safety coming over to the Buccaneers. So what are your thoughts, man? Give us your biggest departures and your biggest signings of this year. And, I haven't asked anybody this before, but my goodness, who are you really happy that you guys kept? What about free agency, man? Tell us all about it.
I think, to be honest, I want to start off with who left. I'll probably say Joe Haig was a person that can help, that kind of hurt us. The reason why is because it's about depth at this point with Tom Brady and our team. You want to have as much depth at the offensive line position. The guy that you can rotate in, that's a spot that you don't want to be weak at. You know, you want that to be one of your strengths. So offensive line, defensive line. So I think the fact that depth is not there with him. Now, obviously, we'll draft and sign, a couple guys. Then the fact that we want to have the same guys that know what we expect we're going to take from last year, that hurt us a little bit. The addition, if I really had to say, as you said, is Giovanni Bernard. The rotation that we have in running backs is going to be huge. One thing that we all know about Tom Brady is he barely has, just one running back to do all the work. He's always rotating guys. And the good thing with that is that means you're keeping guys fresh. So you want to have that. Mm-hmm. So you got Ronald Jones, you got Leonard Fournette, and now you got Giovanni Bernard. We got Keyshawn Vaughn out of the draft, rookie from last year out of Vanderbilt, who got his looks, but once he did have one fumble, I believe, in the playoffs against the Reds, we didn't see him the rest of the playoffs. So his season wasn't as high as we expected. We'll see where he falls into the rotation this year. But you want to have a lot of running backs, and that's what you want with a quarterback like Tom Brady. So now when we have that, I think our defense is going to be fine. But I really, like I said, I believe that was the biggest piece that we had. And I really liked our draft. Getting Tryon out of Washington in the first round was great, too. Like I said about Joe Haig on the offensive line side, we need depth. You need that on the D-line as well. So now that you get that, now you got these rotating guys that you can throw in and be ready to give that same pressure that you need. Another piece that I think is a sleeper, but we won't talk about for a couple of years, is Kyle Trask. Mm-hmm. You got Tom Brady. You know he's going to play for a couple more years, I believe and hope. But now he has a person that is going to follow him and learn from him. He's not going to be the same as that quarterback, of course not, but he can sit and learn from him. And when it's time to come and take over, he'll be there. So that's one thing that I really was nervous about because, when Tom Brady is done, who are we going to have after him? And now that we do have Kyle Trask, I feel a little more better. I feel much better now. So I think that, those couple pieces were very important. I didn't really feel bad about this offseason. I mean, we brought everybody back. The only thing that has me nervous is now the expectations are even higher. And you know what happens when you have a lot of expectations. Mm-hmm. As soon as you lose one game, everything starts to fall apart and people start to question. So I love my team. I'm glad that we won the Super Bowl and everything, but I don't want it to be in the spotlight too much because usually when a team is always in the spotlight, things kind of start to shuffle in different ways. So I kind of like us to move in silence a little bit. And I think that's what kind of happened this year, even though we had a little bit of hype, but we were still doing what we had to. People still expect the Saints to win, that we came out and did what we did. So in the Packers. So now I think this year is going to be exciting. But we got a good group of guys around us. We're still fairly pretty young as well.
Absolutely, man. I like it. And you already went into the draft a little bit. You guys did draft Joe Tryon and outside linebacker out of Washington. Good pick up there. Kyle Trask, as you already mentioned, quarterback out of Florida. Good player there. Robert Hainsey, offensive lineman out of Notre Dame. Another big boy. They definitely know how to build him at Notre Dame, those big guys. So Jalen Darden, North Texas, and playing for the Mean Green. Smaller receiver, but definitely shifty. KJ Britt coming out of Alabama. Get some good players, man. Really, I think even your later rounds. Chris Wilcox, corner out of BYU, and Grant Stewart, I believe, inside linebacker out of Houston. Overall, was a pretty good draft. I think you guys addressed what you needed. What would you give yourselves for a draft grade? Oh, okay. So
I would say draft grade wise. We covered a lot of things. And the biggest piece for me really was the fact that we needed a quarterback. So we got that. And it was quarterback, and I was kind of worried about the defensive line because Dominican Sue was a little older, so he's going to retire at some point. JPP is going to hang it up soon. So draft-wise, I would say we get probably a B+. And the reason why I said a B+ is because even though we did win the Super Bowl and everything, we looked very good. I think we have one weakness still. I think that's cornerback, DBs. I know Antoine Whitfield is a hell of a player. I feel like Carlton Davis is a very good player as well. I feel like we need a lanky speed corner, a bigger corner that can go with the Tyreek Hills, the TJ Lockett's, the DK Metcalfs. You kind of want a Jalen type corner, which they don't grow on trees. But, if you can find one, and grab one, that would be great. Jadavius White type corners. So I feel like that's something that we could have approached. I really thought that would be something that would just put us at that A in the draft class. But overall, I like what we did. Now, even though we did get a B+, I feel like maybe they have that corner in Jamal Dean. Or Jamal Dean, I think maybe he takes that step up this year coming up. So I'm not sure if guys remember, but he was the one that picked up Aaron Rodgers and took it to the house when he tried to throw a curl route to Devontae Adams. So, I think we're good. I just feel like that position could have been filled, but maybe Jamal Dean steps up. That's the reason why we didn't draft a big time corner like that.
There you go, man. Well, overall, I just feel like you guys got a lot, man. There's a lot. This team is strong. They're a very tough team, man. I mean, overall, the Buccaneers should be a powerhouse for years to come, man. I mean, Brady's at the helm. However, how long he stays. But overall, man, I just feel like that was great. That was great marketing, in my opinion, for the Buccaneers, because they're just going to bring great players from for years to come, I believe. They're looking, I think that'll be the case. So with that said, man, let's take a quick look here at this draft. And right now, I mean, we already went through it. You already really hit it on the head, man, with everything. But still, we have a lot of these players coming. Well, all these players that are here now, and just taking a look at their depth chart, courtesy of ESPN.com. I mean, Brady right now at the helm at quarterback. You got Fournette, Ronald Jones, Bernard is there now. Mike Evans and Godwin are still there. Wide receivers as well as Antonio Brown, Gronkowski still there. Beastie offensive line, Wirfs, Kappa, Jensen, Marpet, and Smith. I just always love to say that 3 of those 4 guys are actual smaller school guys, including Ali Marpet, who is D3 out of Hobart. I love saying that. I forgot who else was actually smaller school. But regardless, good stuff there. On the defense, man, you got Sue, Vita Vea, Golston. I mean, that is a nasty defensive line. I don't care if there's only 3 of them, man. Pierre Paul, outside backer, White, David Barrett, amazing, great linebacking core right here. Then the secondary, I know they are a little weak, but regardless, man, I felt like even these guys can get better. Davis, Winfield, Davis and Murphy Bunting, I know at corner, but then over the top, man, Winfield and Whitehead. Overall, man, it's a pretty dang good, solid team. So go ahead and tell us, man, what do you think? What do you think are the roles of these guys coming on in, man? What do you think are the roles some of these guys playing this year, and what can you really tell us? What can you tell us about what you expect out of this team coming back this year? Do you really think they can get that repeat?
Well, for me, again, like I said, I think after last year, everybody started to, now everybody is on the Bucs wagon. Now everybody's saying that the Bucs can do this, and also what makes it even worse is the fact that we brought everybody back. So everybody's like, oh yeah, well, like this is going to be like the best team ever, and they got all these weapons back. They did it last year without having any practice or any preseason. So imagine what they're going to do this year, and it sounds good, but for me, usually a lot of times when you get out of that stuff, one bad thing happens or one loss and things just turn. So I expect us to have a great season. I feel like they'll be much better. But I think the group that we have, that we just brought in, was very, very valid. I mean, I think Joe Tryon is going to play a huge piece. Again, having that rotation at the D-line and the offensive line is important. But for him to be an incredible edge rusher, I think he's going to play huge. I told you what I think about Kyle Trask. I just think that Kyle Trask is going to be a guy that he's going to learn. He's going to sit there and get a line. I think that he may, before the season over, I think he's going to be the second-string quarterback. I mean, I know Blaine Gabbert has been in the league for a while. I just feel like Kyle Trask may be, that quarterback. I think he can be that guy. I think he's going to be. I've seen him do it at Florida. He sat years at Florida, and look what he is now, leaving Florida. So. Robert, the offensive guard that we got, offensive tackle, we got Hainsey. He's going to, fill that rotation. We did go down to offensive lineman before the playoffs or during the playoffs, and we had somebody fill in for a couple guys. So I feel like that's going to play a part. But like I said, I think he's going to have to get with the chemistry over time, which he will. I really like what they've done with that. Now, a person that hasn't been talked about too much, but I feel like he's basically Antonio Brown Jr., which is a high expectation I'm giving him, but not necessarily the catches. But Jalen Darter, I mean, his play out of North Texas, how he plays, he's a very shifty receiver. He's very quick. So I think he's going to be one of our special teams guys. He can, go back there and catch a couple punts, kick returns. So I think he's going to play a valid piece. So I think a lot of these guys that we have, they'll be there to fill in a lot of rotations and learn from the older guys. Chris Wilcox, too, out of BYU, not many people talk about him. I looked at his tape. He's pretty long and lanky, but he was just a little inconsistent in the fact that he was at BYU. He wasn't talking about as much. So I think that he's going to, slowly come together, on the team. But it's just like a lot of these guys that we have, I think they're going to be more so of the depth guys. They're going to be there for the depth that we have. And the group that we already have on the team right now, we're bringing everybody back. So this year should be a lot easier, even for the second string guys that we're bringing in or that, came from last year. So it's going to be, very exciting. We start the season off against Dallas on a Thursday night. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what we can do. A lot of people talked about going undefeated all season long, which is going to be very hard. Or hell, winning 8 games is going to be hard to me. So now I ain't going to lie now. We like 13, 14, and 0. I'm going to start buying my tickets to every game we have just to see if history happens. But exciting season coming up, man. I mean, for me, like I'm just, I'm on 10 right now. I just can't wait to the kickoff. And in fact, I think in a couple of days, we're about to actually see our Super Bowl ring. So that's going to be exciting as well.
Yes, it is, man. And with that said, but man, Dontarius Locke, everybody, man, this is the man. I appreciate you so much for stopping by today, man. Thank you so much. But last but not least, man, you already know it's the segment that everybody loves, man. And I am so excited for you to do this. It's been respect all day long. Colin earlier, we had some respect from the other 3 teams talking about you guys. But then again, there was a little disrespect in there too, talking about we're coming for you and all that. So with that said, man, tell us how you feel about those other 3 teams this season. And, you can be respectful. You can be as nasty and mean as you want to, however you want to be, man. But go ahead and let everybody know how you feel about those other 3 teams this year and just how you feel about them in general. With that said, Dontarius, stick it to them.
Well, I mean, if I'm being real with you, I think that I think we'll blow out this division, to be honest with you. I don't see any of those teams like being better games to us. The team's going to be at the bottom of the Panthers. I think they're rebuilding. I don't know what they're going to do with Sam Darnold, but I mean, you do got Christian McCaffrey coming back, so that'll be a little piece. They got a couple receivers, but I don't think they're nowhere near ready right now. I think the Panthers got a while to go. Honestly, I don't even know why the hell they gave that coach all that money. You ask me. But, I mean, we'll see how that plays out. I guess he was a decent coach at Baylor, but we'll see how that transitions coming up. The Saints, we're going to see a big drop-off from them. For one, they have a quarterback situation that they shouldn't have put themselves in because now they have to decide between starting the guy they gave all the money to or starting the guy with probably the better arm, shall I say, or the better overall quarterback, in my opinion, than Jameis. Now, I love Jameis. Jameis went to school with me. He was, a good friend. But now he's with the other team. Like, I'm not – hopefully we don't see him either game. So, but the Saints, I feel like they're going to drop off. They keep calling him Michael Thomas slant boy, but I think he's a solid receiver. I just feel like we got his number. And the guy to watch out for, obviously, for them is Alvin Kamara. He's going to be the soul of that team. But remember, Drew Brees was a hell of a quarterback, so this is the reason why I think you're going to see a difference in the Saints all year long. I just felt like, Drew Brees, he did a lot for them. So you're going to see them drop off big time. Now, the only team, like I said, I feel like has a slight chance to be second or within 4 games of us is the Falcons. They have a new coach over there, and what their coach do over there, I believe it was Arthur Smith, his mentality is to run the ball. So that's what Matt Ryan needs, is a consistent running back, which he hasn't had, for a while. So I feel like they're going to be pretty solid. Now, obviously, they did trade the big fish away on their team in Julio, but you can tell exactly what I'm going to tell you exactly what they're going to be doing all season. They're going to go double tight end all year with Calvin Ridley on the outside. They're going to go Kyle Pitts, and they're going to go Hayden Hurst, and they're going to run the ball. So, I don't think their defense is any better. I haven't seen them improve there, but they're going to try to cover that up by running the ball a lot. So, with Mike Davis. So, they're going to be solid, but at the end of the day, man, we'll be 3 or 4 games ahead of this division. So, winning division is the least of my worry right now. Mm-hmm. It's just more so of, getting back to the Super Bowl. And I want this season to be better than last season. Like, I want us to at least host a playoff game or 2 if we can. But our division, sorry to wrap it up.
I'm loving it, man. Well, with that said, brother, thank you so damn much for being a part of this, man. Like, no joke, you really, really, really just you made the show, as you always do, that much better, brother. So I appreciate you, man. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Dontarius Locke, man. Please let these people know, man. Let these diehard fans, the Buccaneers fans out there, know where they can find you, where they can find you on everything you do, man. Of course, follow you on Twitter, Fast Break, all the good stuff, man. Where can they find you at?
You guys can definitely find me at Black-813 on Twitter. As you guys notice, 813 is the Tampa area code. That has always been with me. That will never change. So you guys can definitely find me on Twitter, Instagram Black-813. Also, make sure you guys tune in tonight, because we definitely got a lot of NBA talk going around. 8 p.m. NBA Fast Break. Me and Davidson Crooks going to go ahead and get at it. The Suns and the Bucks.
It's going to be awesome, man. So with that said, once again, brother, thank you so much for being a part of today's show, man. Appreciate you so much. Take care. God bless you and your family, man. Look forward to tonight's show.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care, man. All right, y'all. With that said, that was Mr. Dontarius Locke, man. It's great stuff as always. So glad to have him a part of today's show. And that is going to do it for the NFC South. Finishing off day number 1. But of course, I'll be back to give my final weigh-in live and in person, unlike this recorded interview that is on Sunday, July 18th. So, this is yesterday's recording. But anyway, with that said, y'all, we're going to take ourselves a short break, and we'll be right back after this. You were listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. NFC Week, NFC South Day. Once again, right here on IE Sports Radio, your directly for all that is sports.
Lopan, they didn't even want you. Heck, they didn't even want me. But you know what? Right about now, they have no choice. Looking for the real sports talk? Talk that's for us, the people? Look no further. The Wait a Minute Show. A prime time sports comedy cocktail that tucks you in at night. Join me and Lopan Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2livestewsradio.com and Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the waitaminuteshow.com. Sounds like a plan to me. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Indeed.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS, the SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide.
On the BS3 Sports Show.
Welcome to the BS3 Sports Podcast. We hope your experience with us is amazing. Sports talk, comedy, social issues, and more. BS3 is the best source. Can you dig it, son?
Do you love college football? And do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college, and the CCCAA, and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I Single A in the FBS? Well then look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hi everybody, it's Calvin here from USRN, here to give you an important message. Since 2017, we have done our absolute best to provide you with nothing but the highest quality of sports calls in the greatest of quantity possible. Thanks to you, our station has grown more than we ever thought. That's why, with your help, we would like to grow even further. Just think, twice the amount of your favorite calls, 24 hours of coverage, talk shows, play-by-play, game-by-game analysis, and so much more. That's right, USRN2 is officially in development, but we can't do it alone. We have set up a GoFundMe page that you can access from our homepage on the left of your screen. We also are planning special giveaways and prizes to our highest donors. Our goal here at USRN is to bring you the best calls possible at no cost to you. In order to continue to do that, we need your help now. Please check out our GoFundMe page, and if you would like to know how you can help, you can email usrnradio@gmail.com. Without your support, we couldn't do what we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me good. If you like sports, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like comedy, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like a different opinion coming from a different angle, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. So join me Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie. And of course, my man Lopan on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well, then you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
That is right, everybody. IE Sports Radio is your direct feed for all that is sports. Man, what a show, right? I mean, we had a lot of interesting moments, a lot of fun, a lot of anger and animosity towards one another, and a lot of great football talk. Also, a lot of respect, lots of great things, man, and that's just what this show is all about. I love it, and I'm just so happy that, I'm here doing the show. So, with that said, y'all, once again, big ups to all four of our guests here today. Every one of them was amazing, so hats off and big ups, of course, to Mr. Dontarius Locke, Mr. Colin Reynolds, Mr. Antoine Smitty Smith, and, of course, can't forget, man, Cuddy Cutright. That was awesome. I'll tell you right now, that was awesome. We certainly had a lot of fun recording all that, and certainly some great people. So, with that said, I got to get to a few things here, and we got to make sure. Do not forget, I put up the voting poll earlier today over on the 3 and Out website. Oh, sorry, the 3 and Out website. Wow, we got a website for 3 and Out now. Just kidding. But we have We had a 3 and Out voting poll that got posted up earlier today on the 3 and Out, on the IE Sports Radio Twitter feed. And, of course, this was who you thought is taking this division. So, I will be keeping an eye on that. Go ahead and get your votes in. Go over to at IE Sports Radio on Twitter. Scroll down, find it. There's a lot of tweets on there, but find it from earlier this morning, earlier today, and depending on where you are in the country or in the world, and whether it was earlier today or earlier this morning, and vote who you think is going to win this division. As of right now, yeah. As of right now, it looks like a no-brainer. I mean, really, this looks like it looks like all but a very, very optimistic Falcons fan, or maybe a few very, very optimistic Falcons fans. But everybody else is voting for the Tampa Buccaneers, and the Saints and Panthers have 0 votes. So, yeah, this division, and you know what, I think this tends to usually be it, maybe not always, but I do feel that, yes, there's usually always going to be that, that this is the division where it's kind of easiest to pick because Super Bowl champions are in it. So, really, I kind of feel like that's what it'll always be, for the most part, unless there's just 2 powerhouse teams or a few powerhouse teams in that division. Most people are going to go with the defending Super Bowl champions. I mean, to at least win the division. No one said that they're going to win the Super Bowl again, or go back. Of course, though, I mean, Dontarius certainly thinks so, and hey, they definitely can. They're a very strong team, And, yeah, they definitely have all the weapons to do it. They had a pretty good offseason. So, not saying that they can't do it. I'm just saying that for picking the winner of the division, more than likely, I do feel like it will be the Super Bowl champs, or the defending Super Bowl champs, when picking the winner of the division for the next year out of that division, wherever the Super Bowl champs are in. But regardless, like I said, some very optimistic Falcons fans, or one of them, or a few, who knows. But 7% right now is currently voting for the Falcons, and 93%, the other 93% are picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this division. So I also put up another voting poll. This one is on the 3 and Out Twitter handle, or the 3 and Out Twitter, of course, and this is your favorite Stick It To 'em segment. So I know y'all love that Stick It To 'em segment. I know I certainly do. It's a lot of fun, because why not, man? It's a rivalry. Have fun with it. Do the thing. It doesn't have to get serious and crazy. Sometimes our primetime face-offs on 3 and Out definitely do. But I'll tell you right now, it's fun, it's all in love, it's all in just being a diehard, and yeah, so there were some good ones. Callum got on everybody. That was pretty funny. Cuddy, man, I mean, they all got on each other, but Cuddy, man, he had a pretty good one in there too, talking some trash. Antoine was more respectful. I mean, he definitely had his trash talking points in there, but he was very, he did have some respectful moments in there. Not saying that the other two didn't. And then Antarius, man, he just trashed everybody. I mean, he literally said they're gonna blow out the division, like 2 or 3 games, not even close. He says, we're going to put the afterburners on, man. I mean, those weren't exactly his words, but I'm saying pretty funny, because, as he should be, man. The defending Super Bowl champions, give them some respect, I mean, he has every reason to feel that he's, his team is on cloud. He has every reason to be on cloud 9 right now because of how good his team is and how good they were and what they did last year. They didn't win the freaking division, you guys. That's happened before. The team that I can think of, I'm sure there's plenty more, but the one that sticks out to me the most was that 2010-2011 Green Bay Packers team. They didn't win it. They did not win the division. The Bears won it, and they freaking got in there and won it. And I don't know if the Giants actually had a season like that too in one of their Super Bowl years. Might have been the 2011-2012 year, but don't quote me on that. I'm gonna say, but it's just that does happen, you guys. That does happen. So big ups to everybody though in the chat room today. This has been so much fun, and everybody, hopefully all of you have enjoyed yourselves. It has been great. So big ups, y'all. Andrew, man. Big ups, brother. He's so sorry I'm at work. Hey, man, you are good. Hopefully you are enjoying your day at work. And Taryn gave his final weigh-in already, so he's got a dip. So, yeah, we'll see, how I feel about the standings this year. But we'll talk about that right now. But I'll give my final weigh-in in just a little bit. So big ups to everybody, though. It's been a fun show, and definitely love having everybody in. This one ended a little bit quicker than I thought it would. And I really wanted to talk a little bit of football with you guys here as well. I'm just so excited that football's back. I mean, seriously, guys, gosh dang it, football's back. I mean, just having that feeling of knowing we are here, knowing that it is time that we can do this. So, thank you very much, Miss Gina. Great show. Well, I'm not off for a while. I got about 40 minutes left here. But thank you very much, and yeah, we got plenty of show here to come today before I get to my final weigh-in, so don't go nowhere, y'all. We're going to be here for a little bit, but let's take a look at the NFC, okay? Let's take a look at this NFC South for a few seconds, though. So last year, I mean, lots and lots of struggles. Really, my biggest thing was just seeing, as you know, that the Buccaneers didn't win the division, but they won it all. So, overall, it wasn't the worst way to win a Super Bowl, because, hey, they still won the bowl. But they also, some people can argue, well, they weren't the most dominant team because, well, the Saints still won the division. Yes, and we understand you. Unfortunately, though, unfortunately for you guys, the Saints, your captain of the ship is gone. Earlier in the chat room, Taryn mentioned that, Kamara is really all they have, and, well, I disagree with that. They have plenty more great players, but when it comes to that role, like the captain of the ship type of deal, Alvin Kamara is definitely that guy now. I mean, it's not like he wasn't before, but Drew Brees was definitely the captain of the ship, and the second in charge would be Alvin Kamara. At least that's the way I thought of it. And now it's just Kamara, so we don't know who's going to be taking the snaps. Well, we do. We do. And really, it's just, right now, the Saints have so much going on with this team. I mean, we see lots of great athletes, and then it just feels like it's empty. I don't know. It's just, that's what Drew Brees really meant to this team. So, Jameis Winston seems to be the guy. Taysom Hill, I'm sure, is going to be the dude that's, as I said earlier, doing everything but selling popcorn. Big ups to Gina, though. Yeah, I don't know if she's going to bounce or not, but yeah, she's getting ready for her show. But thank you for listening, Gina. Yeah, we'll be on till about 2:30 Pacific. Well, 2:35 actually, Pacific Standard Time. So we got a little ways. We got about 36 minutes left here of show. But yeah, 36 minutes and 34 seconds. So, but with that said, really, I don't see much going on with this team in a negative way. Really, it seems like they're crossing the T's and dotting the I's. They have a football team that they can take into the season and still be very effective. It really just depends on how good Jameis Winston is. Because, of course, as we know, well, there she is. She's not leaving yet. Thank you, Gina. But, yeah, Jameis Winston he hasn't had the greatest career, and we know that. But then the guy really hasn't had that year yet either, that big breakout year. Now, some players don't get that, Some players don't get there at all. Some players have that year, and some just are great from the start, but then they decline later. I mean, I'm not talking about like retiring later. I'm talking about like within a couple of years, they come in, be a phenom, and then before you know it, they're washing out in a couple of years. But I feel like Jameis Winston, he really is yet to have that. This is the first time that Jameis Winston is really, well, not really. With the Buccaneers, he had that role. But I feel like right now, that team wasn't as good as this team. Jameis Winston's a couple years in. He's more mature. He actually has a pretty good build around him right now. So if Jameis Winston wants to jump in and be Superman, okay, and knock everybody, I seriously do feel like if Jameis Winston steps up and plays really good, the rest of this team's going to respond, and the damn defense is good. I mean, you seriously have to be kidding me to think this defense is not good. They're a pretty good defense. Marshawn Lattimore is a freaking beast. I mean, the secondary may not be the strongest point, but I honestly do believe they have at least one shutdown corner, or one pretty gosh dang good corner in that secondary. And the linebackers, they may not be the strongest group out there. I know Anzalone was a tough loss for them, but so what? They have, some pretty decent linebackers. And those two ends, my goodness, Marcus Davenport. We talked about him already. We talked about him with Kyle a little bit ago, but man, I mean, Davenport, I remember seeing him come in. I remember seeing him in the Senior Bowl. And he played for Sam Houston State, you guys. That's an FCS school. I'm always, me, I'm big on those smaller school guys, man. And he got in and did his thing, and now he's a starter in the NFL. The guy is a freaking beast, and I love what he brings to the table. And on top of that, the other side, Cameron Jordan. You need two really good, healthy tackles every game if both of those guys are going to be out there, okay? This is not the Washington football team's defensive line. We know that's a great defensive line. But this is still a very good defensive line. I really do like, I like that these two guys are on the edge. They're going to bring a lot of pressure. So, this offensive line isn't too bad. But overall, they got some pretty good receivers. I'm not saying these guys are going to the bowl this year and winning it. I'm not, okay? I'm not even saying they're winning the division, okay? I think they're going to be in the mix, definitely. But I'm just saying that, don't write off the Saints just because they won the division last year. Just because Breeze left, don't be so quick to write these guys off. Please don't, because that's very ill-advised. Don't do that. But then we look at other teams like the Panthers, okay? And the Panthers, oh my gosh, the potential on this team is ridiculous. I mean, Coach Rule, as we said earlier, has been, reunited with P.J. Walker. That was his player back in Temple. I think it was like 14, or I forgot the years. It was like 14 to 17 or something like that, or however many, 13 to 16. I forgot. But the 4 years that he was there, maybe he was there longer than that, I don't know. But I know that for P.J. Walker's entire stay there, his entire career at Temple, he was there. And P.J. Walker is a freaking beast. The guy can play great football. I'm not writing off Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is still the guy there. And I like him. I mean, I'm a USC guy, so earlier Taryn was talking about he's finally free from the clutches of Adam Gase. Yeah, he is. But overall, I just feel like Darnold does need a fresh start somewhere else. I like him. I still have faith in him. I get it. USC quarterbacks haven't been the best. I get it. Leave Mark Sanchez alone, y'all. Like, seriously, the butt fumble, what you do, it can happen to anybody. It happens. He panicked and ran to the rear end of one of his offensive linemen. Whoop-de-doo. Get the freak over it. Carson Palmer was pretty freaking legit. Matt Leinart, I know he didn't pan out to be the superstar. I get it, okay? But what I'm saying is we freaking get it. USC quarterbacks. Oh my gosh. It's like one thing. A couple quarterbacks come out and everyone freaking loses their crap. I mean, it's human nature, It's like you drive into a city and you see three yellow cars or two. You just happen to see, and two of those 3 yellow cars just happen to be passing through. Just like you're like, man, this city has a lot of yellow cars in it. Like people really like yellow here. I mean, I do it too. We all do it, you guys. But it's just like it's not. You know what I mean? Like you just happen to see 3 yellow cars in this city. So I get it. Some people are going to come at me and be like, oh, well, it's historic through USC. Whoop-de-doo, man. I mean, okay, and then when we do get a really good quarterback that comes out, then you're going to say what? Oh, well, it's once in a million. Let it go. I mean, you see what I mean? So Sam Darnold, I think, is actually pretty good. The other guys just they didn't pan out to the NFL level. That's all there is to it. It has nothing to do with the school, Did they get prepared? I mean, it can, yes, but once again, it's just, were they prepared? Those are different coaching staffs, you guys. It's not like if you go to USC and you're a quarterback, you're doomed as a quarterback in the NFL. It doesn't mean that, you know what I mean? So, overall, I just feel like Sam Darnold is pretty gosh damn good. The guy's still young. He's got plenty of road in front of him in his career, I think, and he's pretty good. They also got Will Greer back there. So, they got 3 quarterbacks that they can, definitely, I'm not saying that Walker or Greer is going to start week 1. They may, and if they do really well in training camp. But I'm just saying that, as of right now, Sam Darnold's the guy, and they got 2 backups that are pretty solid, So Christian McCaffrey, we all know he's going to come out and do his thing. But yeah, Robbie Anderson, remember seeing him for the Jets. The guy was a very good talent. Now he's going to be over there. Sam Darnold will be throwing him the ball. I like what they got going over there. As I said earlier, this is a very, the offensive line is not top-notch, but they're definitely not horrible. I mean, they're not a terrible group of offensive linemen. I mean, they could use a little more help, but I'm just saying overall, and plus, you know how these guys have all gotten better during the offseason. They could have taken the weight room extremely serious or their conditioning, and they can come out and be amazing in the next season. We don't know that. So, I'm just saying. So, there we go. And then, of course, this defense, I like what they got going. I do. Denzel Perryman is a freaking beast. I watched him, literally, well, not like it was all him, but when I went to see the Raiders play a couple years ago against the Chargers, they freaking beat us down, man. I mean, this guy is a good athlete. I think he's a very good athlete, and I look forward to seeing him play this year. He's a pretty good quarterback. I mean, quarterback. Wow, quarterback of the defense for sure. Playing over at middle linebacker, but pretty good player. Shaq Thompson, another good player here, outside backer. Jermaine Carter, and as we talked about with Cuddy Cutright, man, Jace Horn is a damn dog. Like, this dude is a very good corner. So they're young. Coach Rule, I know Darius slammed them saying, I don't know why they gave that coach all that money. And I understand, rivalry and everything. And what has he proven? He hasn't really done anything yet, I know. But hey, who knows? This could be their guy. I'm definitely going to say the Panthers they're a up and coming. They just need to keep doing what they're doing. Like really, that's big, okay? That's major for them. Keep doing what you're doing. So as for the Falcons right now, we see a team that is just, on paper, they look pretty solid. You see names like, of course, Matt Ryan. The guy's not a crappy quarterback, but he's definitely towards the end of his career. Mike Davis, very good acquisition this year. As you saw, Antoine Smith was very excited for that, and I like that a lot. Calvin Ridley, a name that we saw coming out of Alabama a few years, and we're like, well, what's going on? How come he hasn't done much? Well, hopefully this can be his year. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like he hasn't done anything, but he's definitely done good enough. He's done well. So, there's that. So, Kyle Pitts, Darren earlier in the chat room, cold-blooded man saying free Kyle Pitts. Hey, man, you leave him alone, man. Let him be a Falcon. I think he's going to be a great target. Kyle Pitts is a really good tight end, and the young man played very well in college, and I think he's going to do great here. He really can, move forward. We talked about Lindstrom. I mean, seriously, if you can somehow find, I think it was a 2018, if I'm not mistaken, Senior Bowl, but him and Dalton Risner on the right side of that offensive line. I don't know if it was north or south. Crazy how they divide that up. I don't know. But watch them dominate, man. Like, they destroyed that left side of the defensive line. And they're good. Like, so Lindstrom is somebody who jumped in and he's ready to rock and roll. So I like that. They need to keep building this offensive line. Not saying the guys there are bad now, but they need to get on his level. Really. I mean, of course, Matthews is the veteran. Of the group. Don't really know the other guys, so I don't know how long they've been around. But I will say, and on the other side of the ball, Grady Jarrett. You heard us talking about him too, myself and Antoine Smith. Good player overall. Dante Fowler, another freak of nature. They run that 43 defense. That is great for guys. Really great, in my opinion, for secondary dogs, and I think there's, their secondary is not the doggiest out there, but, they got a pretty decent secondary. AJ Terrell, also out of Clemson, I mean, he's actually, he's a very good corner. So it's like you give some of these guys a few minutes, a few seconds. I mean, really, what they can do for you is amazing, Kendall Sheffield from Bama a few years ago. They have players back there. Okay, they're not a bad defense. But you see these names and you see what you think they can do, and then you just hope that they can plug in and play. A young man that I don't want to butcher, but Foyesade Olokun out of Yale a few years ago. Another small school guy. I mean, it's an Ivy League school, but I'm just saying, they have some good athletes back there. I don't know if he was the guy I was looking for. Deion Jones, the man out of LSU. Let me take a look here. I may be thinking of somebody else, maybe a completely different team. My apologies, guys. But regardless, the defense, they're solid. They're not a great defense, but once again, you don't know the work that some of these guys are putting in the offseason. What I'm saying is there's lots of room to grow here. There really is, and they have good enough, athletes on that offensive side of the ball. Defense does need some work, but I feel like right now you can see this team and say, hey, they're on their way. I mean, just once again, keep building, and that's what we don't know. We don't know what they'll be doing in the next few years. We don't know who's getting fired, who's moving around, who's going where. So we have that, and then of course there was the Buccaneers. I mean, you see Brady, which. Gosh dang it, man. The guys look. I mean, I'm not trying to. I am not praying for this guy to leave the NFL. I want to keep on seeing great football out of this guy and see how old he can actually get and how good he can keep on playing. And I hate to say that, but my goodness, man, he's 43 years old. The guy is freaking amazing. And he's playing at such a great level, a high level. He's the most elite quarterback in the NFL. So I just want to continue to see him play. I don't know if I want to see him be a Bartolo Colon, playing at freaking 50 almost. I don't know. Is that how old he is right now? Bartolo Colon pitching in the MLB? I don't even know what team he's on. But anyway, with that said, I do know that these players are, on the Bucs, they just pop out at you. Fournette, Evans, Godwin, Antonio Brown, Gronkowski, even that offensive line, man. I remember seeing Kappa a few years ago, playing at a high level, Super Bowl champion. Now he was in the Senior Bowl like 2 years ago, coming from Humboldt State, a team that no longer a school that no longer has a football team. Ali Marpet, I rave about this guy coming from D3 Hobart, so overall, you see these big names, Evans, I mean, my goodness, Cameron Brake, I know you see Rob Gronkowski there, of course, he's one of the best tight ends of this freaking era, but you see guys like O.J. Howard behind him. Of course, Tara and I were talking about him a little bit ago, and I still don't know if it was only one or two big plays he made in two separate national championships for Alabama. Maybe it was just one and I got it confused with another one. I don't know. Or maybe he did just have two really big plays in two different national championships for Alabama. But regardless, good freaking offense, man. Tristan Wirfs, we've seen this guy hang cleaning like 455, you guys. That's a lot of gosh damn weight. I mean, seriously, that is a ridiculous amount of weight to hold with your two hands, okay, against your thighs, and then thrust up and catch it and bend your wrist backwards and stand up with it. That is a hell of a lot of weight to do that with. So I think he got like 4 reps of it or whatever. Like, that's incredible. This means that he could probably get 505 for one. Put on 5 plates with 5s on the ends, okay? Or at least throw halves on there and get 500. This is that dude's a freaking monster. So for to see him just dominate and play as well as he does, that is awesome. Weight room junkie, it seems, and it shows, man. So these athletes, man, like this, I'm telling you, it all starts up front. Donovan Smith, coming out of Penn State, 28 years old, still healthy. Ali Marpet, as I mentioned earlier, coming out of Hobart, he's 28. Okay, a few years in here. Then we have, we have Ryan Jensen coming out of Colorado St. Pueblo. That is a Division II school, so he's 30. And then, of course, Alex Kappa coming out of Humboldt State, the team that no longer has a football team. But Alex Kappa being 26 years old, all right, coming on in. And then Tristan Wirfs, the guy we just talked about, coming in at 22 years old. I think it was his rookie season last year or 2 years ago, whenever it was. But regardless, that offensive lineman, it all starts up front. If there was ever any way to prove that offensive lines really do help win championships, because you need those 5 big boys, this is a team. That's a lot of meat up front. And those big boys are certainly very, very good, okay? Extremely good athletes. So, at the end of the day, y'all, that is what it is. That's exactly what it is. So, this is a very good football team. We know that. Then look at the other side of the ball. Vita Vea, my goodness. Absolute stud. Young man out of Washington. Sue a couple years back. Well, he's been in the league for a while now, but coming out of Nebraska. William Golston. I remember when Golston got drafted, man. It was a while back. But yeah, William Golston, DN out of Michigan State. I'm just saying, you guys, there might have been another Golston, I don't know. But regardless, amazing athletes, okay? Pierre Paul, Devin White. There's just so many athletes on this team that make you say, yeah, they're going to win. Yes, they're going to do it again. So, yeah, the secondary, definitely not their strongest point, but still, so what? Their secondary still is pretty solid. Carlton Davis, Antoine Winfield Jr., Jordan Whitehead, Sean Murphy-Bunting. This is a good defense, okay? Linebackers, like I said, Devin White, Levante David, Shaquille Barrett. This is a good football team. And some matchups that I cannot wait for. Oh my goodness. Some of my favorite matchups this year are going to be Tristan Wirfs versus, actually it's going to be both of them. It's going to be Wirfs and the duo, I guess you could say the 2-tackle duo of Tristan Wirfs and Donovan Smith taking on Cameron Jordan and Marcus Davenport. That's D-line, specialty. That's going to be, you can watch that and take notes, young defensive linemen out there. Watch the hand fights, watch the bull rushes and the shifts of power and the lightness on their feet and the way they move their feet. You're going to see the mirror drill in here. You're going to see so much from each of these players on both sides. I mean, just seeing them. I mean, I would literally watch them just go one-on-ones. I would literally just watch that like a game. Of course. The rest of the game is going, of course. But I'm just saying, I'll lose score because maybe not. But I'm just saying, I would love to see these guys just go heads up. I know it was last year too, but that's going to be great this year. I really want to see the secondary of the Saints take on the Buccaneers. Last year they shut them down, you guys. Last year until the playoffs, man. In that one game, the freaking Saints beat them down 38-3. Taryn put that up earlier in the scoreboard in the chat room here. But you guys, that's going to be great as well. These high flyers at Tampa Bay, but guess what? New Orleans had all kinds of things to say about that, in this past season, in the regular season. So there's just a lot of great matchups I want to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing if Carolina is able to, if this offensive line, they're good, but they're not great, but they're good. I want to see if they gotten better out in the offseason to give McCaffrey some more holes. He has not an issue. McCaffrey's a damn good running back, one of the best in the league. I'm sure you ask him, he'll say he has a lot to improve on, which is what a great athlete does. But I'm excited to see that. I want to see him, be able to run. I also want to see this Panthers defense. How are they going to match up against these other offenses? For sure, against the Buccaneers, they're going to be in trouble if they don't get some pressure on Brady. This is a great offensive line. Their defense really isn't that tough. I mean, they have some good players, but they're not as good defensively as I would say they are offensively. And as for the Falcons, I mean, they have the names there. They got some good players on defense, but once again, I don't see that defense being able to compare with the offense of the Buccaneers. So really, the only defense that I think is going to actually give the Buccaneers any kind of trouble is going to be the Saints. Am I saying that they won't happen? No, I'm just a man who's making predictions right now. My apologies if you're taking it too serious, but what I do say is right now, you're going to see all of these different matchups. Will we see? When I say this, don't get on me, y'all. I'm not saying Jameis Winston isn't the guy. I'm not saying that. But maybe, who knows? Maybe things don't work out for him as well. Hopefully they do, but maybe, he'll go somewhere else and he's a great quarterback somewhere else. And Taysom Hill has to step up. Now they lost that dynamic of Taysom Hill freaking being under center and catching, lining up at wide receiver and freaking being a fullback, and my goodness, I mean, like I said, that guy does everything but sell popcorn. I mean, on the offense. And then you got a guy like Ian Book. I'm not even thinking he's going to play this year. I don't know. What if we've seen him in there somehow? I mean, I'm just saying, you guys, there's a lot of variables and really cool things, but I really think Jameis, this is going to be his time. I really do feel like Jameis Winston is going to step up and take this by the reins, and, that offense is going to be as good as he wants it to be. I hate to just put it all on one man, but we all know the quarterback is the most important position in football because, well, he's the guy who's handling the gosh dang ball every single. Well, no, I take that back. He gets it every play, but the guy who gets it first before every play is the center. But anyway, with that said, you guys, those are just my quick and dirty thoughts of some things, some really good matchups that I want to see. I'm very excited to see what we got. Another really good matchup. Oh man, it's going to be through the air. A really good battle. We talked about Jace Horn. And Chase Horn, man, we look at him as just a complete monster. I really, really, really want to see what he's able to do this year. I think he's got so much in front of him, so much talent, and he's going to do really well. I think he's going to do really, really well for these Panthers. I want to see him. Versus the Buccaneers this year. I want to see him taking on guys like Mike Evans and Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin. I mean, he's going to step in. If he's going to step into a starting role, he's going to see these guys. How are they going to use him? They run a traditional 43 defense. Can they drop a nickel in there? Can that be one of their sub packages? Can they drop a nickel? That would be very interesting. I would love to see that. Oh my gosh, can you imagine that? Defensive line, of course, you got your 40, your base four front. Okay, then your three backers, led by Perriman. Okay, Shaq Thompson, pretty good player. Jermaine Carter, pretty good player. Okay, so we have that. Then, okay, how cool would it be? I mean, you play nickel, so I mean, same for a few plays or whatever. You drop one of these linebackers, and you get Perriman or Thompson or Perriman or Carter. Usually, I think it's a strong backer that you keep in. So, substitute Thompson and drop in Horn. That's crazy. You drop in Horn, it's like the nickel back. You throw in another corner, and now you play a nickel. You have a guy that's like a rover between a safety and a linebacker. I mean, that's pretty sweet. Horn is capable of that, I think. He's a hard hitter. He's a very mobile guy. He's everywhere at one time. And you say, these are cool things you can do. I have no insight at all. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm just saying that would be a fun thing. You also see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, that 34 defense is strong. They can do whatever the heck they want out of that 34. But, I mean, could they experiment with the 43 as well? They got the defensive line to do it, my goodness. But, I think they're going to be staying there as well. But Carolina, who knows what we'll see there. The base 43 for the Falcons. I think they're fine where they are with their defense. I mean, they just got to keep building it. And overall, the Saints, they're 43 defense. My goodness, they got the 2 pass rushers. I don't think they need to do anything with that thing. But I'm just saying, how cool, to see the Panthers maybe fluctuate a little bit. And we all see sub packages in the NFL from here and there and everywhere. But what I'm saying is lots and lots of cool things to look at. So with that said, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the schedules real fast because, well, that's going to help me out with my final verdict here. So, with that said, I really want to say that it may not change my predictions too much for who I think is going to go, first, second, third, fourth, but it could change my record for what I think. So, this year, judging off of, let me see, so the NFC South this year looks like they have the NFC East and the AFC East, if I'm not mistaken. No, they don't. They have a few teams from the AFC East. So they have the NFC East, so Washington football team, Giants, Eagles, and the Cowboys. And they have the AFC South, the Titans, the Texans, the Colts, and do they? Yep, the Colts are in there. So, the Colts, and of course, last but not least, in that division, the Texans, the Titans, the Jaguars. The Jaguars are in there somewhere. They gotta be. It'd be kind of weird if they weren't. But okay, so where are the freaking Jags? That is really weird. Okay, well, regardless, at least I thought they were playing them. Regardless, looks like this is who they're playing. So, overall, this is really weird. They might have substituted somebody. They might have thrown somebody out to mess this really weird season that they got going. I am so against this freaking 18-game season or 17-game season. I think this is so stupid. I am really, really mad about this, by the way, you guys. It's not fair. You're playing too many goddamn players, it's ridiculous. Okay, I'm playing too many teams, too many games. So I think it's the AFC East. Yeah, Patriots, Dolphins. I see the Bills in there, and the Jets. Yep, so it's the NFC East and the AFC East they're playing this year. So overall, I'm not going to say that the Buccaneers aren't going to run through some of these teams. The Buccaneers, I feel, are, better than the majority of the NFC East right now. The East is they're good, but when you put the Buccaneers against them, I don't know. In the East, in the AFC East, the Dolphins are definitely getting better. The Patriots are still the Patriots. But the other two teams, of course, the Bills are pretty damn good. So, really, the Jets are the Jets. Overall, I see the Buccaneers, my goodness. And, of course, playing the division, the Buccaneers, yeah. So, anyway, with that said, let's go and get to the final weigh-in now so I can go ahead and talk about why now. So, now that I see the schedule, okay. So, with that said, you guys, of course, there's little outliers and different teams they play and everything, and they plug and play and all that. But, with that said, let's go ahead and go from fourth to first. So here's my final weigh-in, you guys. Go ahead and get it started, y'all. My final weigh-in for the NFC South for the 2021-2022 NFL season. Okay. I don't want to be mean. I know I said lots of good things about this team, but they're just not there yet. As I said, they look good on paper, or they look decent on paper at least, but I just don't see them. When you put them against the other three teams, I have trouble putting them ahead of any of them. So I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. And by the way, Taryn, I think you hit it spot on with yours. So for anybody in the chat room right now looking, mine is exactly what Taryn put. But yeah, he must have been reading my mind. But yeah, I think it's very fair. The Falcons are good. The Falcons are, well, they're not great, but they're good. They're a good football team. They're not gonna be 2-4. 2-15 season. They're not. They're not gonna be that. okay, will they win 4 games? I mean, my goodness, last year, let's take a look here and see. Yeah, NFC South last year was definitely not the the prettiest for the Falcons. They went 4-12, and I really just see that happening. I see them maybe winning 1 or 2 more games. Than that, maybe 5 wins or 6 wins. I don't really see them going into 7 wins because at the end of the day, it's not going to work. I don't want to. I don't want to give any kind of hope. Of course, like I said, I'm just a man making predictions, and I feel that they're good. They're a good football team with lots of promise ahead of them. But as of right now, this season doesn't look like it. So yeah, Gina G puts here in the chat room, Falcons dead last in the division, but only if Darnold works out. Yeah, and that's true for the Panthers. So next up, as of course Taryn put here, the Panthers. Those to me are the 2 bottom feeders. I don't want to build up the Panthers like I did and then shut them down right now. But the Panthers, my goodness, if Darnold steps in and is a freaking freak of nature, and this defense starts getting real crazy, Jace Horn starts picking everybody off. This Panthers team, the offensive line actually blocks for McCaffrey. I'm just saying this team can be scary and fast. Coach Rule is a young dude. Well, not super young, but he's a coach that he's trying to make things happen like today, and I like that about him. I like that about the Panthers. They're ready to roll. It's only been a couple of years since they were in the Super Bowl. Was it like 5-6 years ago? Around there against the Broncos in 2016. So I'm just saying, you guys, they're a good team that has question marks all over. I definitely think they're better than the Falcons. But last year they went 5-11. This year they can go anywhere from, my goodness, I'd like to put them at maybe 7 wins. But I don't know. If they don't work out, if things don't happen there, I don't really feel that they're going to be absolutely great. Gina says here, I'm not a Darnold believer, though. Yeah. So I'm going to go between 6 to 8 wins, but more than likely around maybe 6, maybe 5 if they're not that good. But I'm going to say 7 wins for them around there, okay? Then I'm going on over to the next team. They won it last year. I don't think they're going to win it this year. I think the Bucks, of course, that's my winner. Definitely going to put them up there. But the Saints are strong and they're good. And if Jameis Winston steps in and is Superman and kicking everyone's butt, then you better believe I'm going to say, yeah, that's right, y'all. He's in there. He's doing great things. But I just don't know yet. So I do know that Tom Brady and that entire freaking defense is amazing. I know that, okay? That entire offense, defense, everything. I know that. So just like everyone picked, of course, the voting poll just ended. So thank you to everybody who voted in the voting poll on the iSports Radio Twitter feed. 93% of you are going with there's a total of 15 votes. 93% of you are going with the Buccaneers. I'm definitely going with the Buccaneers too. I think the Saints can be anywhere between 8 to 10 wins, and the Buccaneers are going to be 10 plus. I mean, I don't know if I know I don't want to be disrespectful, but seriously, I'm not saying undefeated. Okay, Notarius explained. No, Notarius didn't say that either. He didn't say that either. He just said, you heard him. If they do start going undefeated, I think the Buccaneers maybe lose 3 to 4 games, and that's about it. They're good. So that is my final weigh-in, and that is what it is, y'all. So with that said, you know what time it is, y'all. It's time to cue the music, because we're out of here. Well, that is if it wants to play. So with that said, you guys, I want to go ahead and get this thing going if I can. But with that said, you guys, I really do feel like right now this team is strong and they're good. The Buccaneers are solid. And overall, we are going to see a good dose of Brady. We're going to see a team that is good and strong and ready to roll, you guys. So, like I said, I don't know what's going on. My what do you call it? Everything locked up here, so it's not very fun over here. But let me go ahead and see if I can escape out of this. Yeah, so apparently the computer's not being my friend right now. But overall, you guys, I really thought that this was a great show. But it was a lot of fun. And, we got some people here in the chat room, so let's take a look here. Gina G, not a Darnold believer. Not a Matty Ice believer as well, or either. Adam Karnick, no Breeze, hard to go with the Saints, yes. Gina's just not a believer in anybody. So, she says here, she's not a Winston believer. So, and Bucks, it's hard to beat. Bucks defense is hard to beat. Plus, TB12 ain't too shabby. Yeah, it's really hard to pick against him. And I just feel like right now, this team, they're a good football team, you guys. It's not. This isn't this ridiculous. This isn't multiple choice. I feel like it's a yes or a no for the Buccaneers, and I feel like it's going to be a straight yes. I'm not saying make or break at all. I'm just saying that they're going to probably dominate. I do see them probably winning, like Dontario said, about 2 to 3 games more than everybody in the division. And overall, it's going to show. It's going to show how good they really are this year. This is probably I don't know if they're going to do it again. This might be it. This might be the all said and done. I don't know. But I feel like right now we're going to have a very good they're going to be a good team. By the way, Gina G in the chat room laughing at my multiple choice comment there. But yeah, it's not multiple choice, you guys. It's not. Where did I get that from? I forgot what movie I got that from. It's pretty hilarious. From it's a football movie, man. James Van Der Beek was in it from the 90s. Varsity Blues. He says, "Hey, you think you're better than my boy?" And he's like, "Well, hell. It ain't multiple choice." He says it, it's so funny. But you guys, I just think that's hilarious. But anyway, like I said, I don't know what's going on. My computer's not being my friend right now with the music and everything, but is what it is, and that's how the show is going to end. So, at the end of the day, y'all, that's what I think, and that's how we're going to do it. So, I am very excited to see football, of course, coming back. This is awesome. It's going to be a very good watch, Gina. You gotta check that movie out. But it's gonna be a great season. I'm looking forward to it. But right now, now it wants to play. Well, with that said, y'all, it's about that time. Let's do this. A little bit of comic relief there from the computer at the end of the show. But with that said, you guys, there you go. Big ups to everybody today who was a part of the show once again. Let's see here. Who actually won? Dontarius Locke with 3. That was only 3 votes, but he was 6% in the Stick It To Him segment. With that said, you guys, big ups to all of my guests. Thank you so very much. Tomorrow, we're back with day number 2, NFC North Day. I hope you're ready to rock and roll, y'all. This has been me, your boy Larry B, signing off. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.